Please. Zach, what are you logged into Ubisoft?
Of course.
Do you know your name?
You're still not live.
It's the user 3518. Here it is. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to figure that out.
No.
User what?
Let me see. Fuck, I hate the buttons on this stupid game.
You like my overlay, Brandon? I made it myself.
Not bad.
And then the whole left side,
Make me one.
the whole left side, if people write in the chat, it should pop up and down the left.
Dude. Give me that bitch.
Make your own.
Dude, I don't know. That's too advanced for my ass.
It ain't hard. Zach, what's your username?
I don't know what the fuck is happening. Hold on.
I think it's funny how there's just CBS in the bottom left.
Need another beer.
Damn.
I can't. It's making me change my name. It doesn't like Booty Cabbage.
Oh, is it too inappropriate?
It is.
Dang.
Ugh.
Brandon, do you like this stream?
What?
Did you already like this stream?
No.
Somebody liked the stream. It's kind of rude that you didn't, but that's cool.
Man, I'm on the fucking TV. How do I even do that?
MACHZOSS.
Dude,
It didn't like Booty Cabbage. Booty Cabbage didn't work, so.
There you go. I just shot your request.
How the fuck do I click?
Alright, well, I'm gonna start my stream real quick while Zach's struggling.
You could have done it that whole time, right? I need to get some music in the background other than this Uno trash.
Oh yeah, the music on this game is absolutely terrible.
It's like just the most repetitive.
Apparently I've been with Ubisoft for 10 years. And my game just crashed.
Don't do this, Zach.
Loading it back up. I don't know how to add you as a friend. I'm not gonna lie.
Better figure it out. I shot you an invite.
Yeah, I don't know how to accept it.
It should be like if you go into Ubisoft, go to the top. I gotta explain everything to everybody. At the top, you see how it says friends? Yeah, you click on that and then you accept my.
Do you have CBS muted, Will?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, I think that worked. What are you doing? You're such a. Alright. It should have worked.
Should have or did?
Pretty sure we're friends on here. Yes, if it works, we're friends.
How is there a trans flag, but there's not an American flag? There's a rainbow flag, a trans flag, no American flag. It's cool. I didn't want an American flag anyways. Trying to test to see if this works. All right. Did it work, Zach?
Shift F2. Okay, that doesn't do anything. I'll just do that.
Why does it tab out every time I try to do something?
Says it's either your match is either full or unavailable.
Nah. You lying.
That's what said. Here, send me another invite.
Zach out here pranking me.
Will, I need help.
Why?
I need help.
Why? Why?
Shit does not want to work.
What do you mean by that? I feel like I'm wrangling two developmentally slow kids.
Say it.
Is that the kind way to say it?
Say it.
Want me to say it?
What's Y on
I'm
the
not
Xbox controller? The triangle?
Yes. Yes,
Nope,
that is.
That's a lie. Apparently.
Why is triangle? And vice versa. Can y'all accept my invites?
I'm already in your game.
Oh my god, Chihuahua. Is that you, Chihuahua Fam 2D?
That was my... Actually,
Oh.
yeah, that was my PlayStation name from my first PlayStation 3.
Chihuahua Fam 2D.
I don't know why it's still that, because I literally just changed my
We out
name.
here. We out here.
Well, it was Booty Cabbage, but then it flagged it, so it made me change it.
That's funny.
Will, why is it making sound? I have it muted.
You have what muted? The CBS stream?
Yeah.
Turn the slider all the way down. Did you do...
Why y'all even streaming that anyways?
Alright, Brandon. Are you trying to do window like are you capturing a window or a display?
Yeah, I did the
Okay.
source.
This is that's literally not what you're supposed to do. Delete that. You're gonna go to YouTube, find the CBS stream, okay? Look at me in the eyes. Look at me in the eyes.
In there. I'm on it. I'm already there.
Copy the URL from the
Got
YouTube
it.
stream.
Ready.
You're gonna create a browser source.
That's what I just did.
You're gonna paste it. You're gonna create a browser source. Shrink it down into a little window. You're gonna have to transform edit to get this just the screen. Right? Alright, Zach, we're gonna play without him. See if your game crashes. Oh yeah, we got AI Chomper, dude. I got skipped already?
Why didn't I get to play?
You got +2.
There was no, what do you mean I got +2? It was my turn.
No, I don't know what happened. I looked away for a second. It's- I didn't see what happened. Damn, Chopper's getting
I clicked
fucked.
on a card to play, and then it just didn't play it, and then it did reverse, and then went back to you. I was like, okay.
Damn.
Oh, it's because you had to hit square to play a card.
I'm gonna get Chopper shit. Yeah. Chopper has a terrible deck. Ooh. I had the same thing.
Rough, buddy.
That sucks for him, dude. It's my turn again already?
Yeah, this dude just blocked me 2 times in a row.
I hit the wrong button. I could have jumped in right there.
You could have jumped in. What the fuck does that mean?
If someone plays the exact card you have, you can jump in real quick. If you quick with it. Ooh, that sucks for him again. Yeah, we're out here. Damn. Don't do it to me. I feel like he got something stupid with red. Damn. I could sense it.
What the fuck is why? I don't understand this game.
You don't understand, dude. No.
Muted.
You might have to go into the properties of it, and for me, I had to check a box that said control audio. Zach! Holy shit.
I didn't even get to do that. That's not me. I didn't pick any of that. None of that was me.
None of that was you?
No.
Brennan,
Which
so I
was?
had to check a box that said control audio through OBS.
I got it. I got it.
Thank God you got it, motherfucker. Holy shit.
God damn! I never want to have to do that again in my life.
Can you go type in my chat to see if it comes up on my stream?
I can try it.
What color is that?
Red.
Fuck that.
God damn it. X is draw a card, and I don't have the controls down yet. What A? What the I hate this game. I need to get an Xbox controller so I can understand what it's trying to tell me to do.
Oh God, Zach, don't do it to me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. I think my stream's broke, Brenna. Why am I getting shit on?
What does that mean?
You can take someone's deck with a 7.
Why am I allowed to play anything? Okay.
What's going on, Zach? Are you okay?
I don't know what's going on, dude. I legitimately have no. It wouldn't let me play any of my cards.
Are you using a controller?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Oh, it's easy for me on the controller.
I just don't understand what I'm supposed to do because it's having me do like. It tells me controls, but the controls don't match, you know, the fucking buttons on this thing. A PlayStation 4 controller.
Damn. That wasn't very cash money. Try to keep it green.
All right, so X is. Fuck, I need to look this up. 'Cause I
Oh, I
don't
think I
know.
just broke something. That hurt. I gotta get better music. Jumped in.
Neat.
Jumped in.
Okay.
Have fun with that set.
I'm not gonna lie, Brandon. I think you were right. You just need to fucking delete the game.
What's that?
Uno.
Oh my goodness.
Uno's so fun, dude. If I get
If
my
I could
deck,
play without the controller, I think it'd be a lot better.
you can keyboard and mouse it.
I didn't even fucking pick. I didn't pick red. Okay, yeah, we're gonna try keyboard and mouse because holy fuck, this is terrible.
Having a panic attack over there.
Yeah, keyboard and mouse doesn't work.
Zach, what is wrong with your game?
You can't play. It doesn't work. I say to jump into what? I can't. None of the buttons fucking work.
Jump in, it's a random button every time.
I don't have the button.
That motherfucker just took my shit. He has a red 6.
I don't have the button.
It said hit Y, so I clicked Y on my keyboard. Then I clicked fucking triangle on my controller, and it was like, nah.
I got your
Neither
deck,
one.
Zach. Thank God. I got 27 cards. You gotta call Uno.
Uno? What the fuck? How do you do that?
I don't know. I could have challenged you, but I'm not a dick. What color do you have?
Yellow.
That dude had a red 6.
Where do I even get this deck from?
It keeps rotating. I want you to hit him with it. Yeah, hit him with it. Fuck you, Chomper. Damn. What a douche. I thought he was gonna hit another one down. That would have been funny. Do it.
I hate this game. It
Damn.
won't let me pick any cards in my deck. It just
Damn. You had a green?
I did. It just won't let me pick anything on my deck. It will only stay to the left or the right side, and I can only play either card on left or right side. None of the ones in the middle are playable. Alright, but this is...
All right.
You streaming, Brandon?
That was pure luck that I got to actually play that card.
What the hell is happening right now? Having a panic attack. Ha! Jumped in. I hit the wrong button. That motherfucker about to have Uno. Oh, make it green. Okay.
I don't have any options in what happens in this game.
Cheese. We don't even know what this motherfucker has. That's all I could do. This dude better have a +2. What a fucking piece of trash.
Alright.
Alright, get on Uno, Brenner.
Get on the what?
Get on what?
Can you pull us out of this game?
Damn. Zach hates this shit. Fix your controls.
It just doesn't work. It's just fucking useless.
I got a PS4 controller hooked up and I didn't have to do anything.
The same thing. It won't let me do anything. How the fuck can I leave? It won't let me leave either. I've hit quit like 6 times. Yes. Oh, thank you. Alright, we need to fucking fix these settings. This is just absolute garbage.
Music. I need some music.
There's just something wrong with the keyboard bindings for this thing because it's even wrong on the actual than what it says on the in the setting. All right, you know, fuck it. We're gonna just
We're gonna just what?
put the.
Alright, we finally should be live.
Live.
Finally. Alright, where the hell is Uno? Alright, invite me when y'all are done. Please. Hey, Will, where did Uno go?
These are coming. Getting some music up. I don't know why. Chats aren't coming up on the side.
Zach, did you ever get Uno to work?
Find work.
Find work.
No, I didn't. Now I can't get Uno. It's on the wrong screen now for some reason.
Sounds like everybody's having a great time.
I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 3.
Well, 1 out of 3.
So you're supposed to do. There we go.
That's some
But I have
music.
Uno already.
Oh, it for some reason works now.
You join a game?
How do you call Uno?
The U button.
What the fuck is U button on PlayStation 4 controller?
I had to stop using PlayStation controller because
Did you
it
say
didn't work for me.
the U button?
Yep.
Are you on a game together?
No, I was waiting for.
I
the-
literally joined at Uno and I lost.
I don't know what happened. I got a.
Leave it to me.
Oh my god, this game is gonna give me a panic attack. I'm trying to create a game. There we go. Alright, Zach. Shoot you an invite.
Well, me.
I didn't get one either.
You both should have gotten one by now.
Well, I
There
just
we
got it.
go.
Mm-hmm.
That looks just like you.
Oh, thanks, man. It really captured the gray in my hair.
Yeah?
Do we have to wait for another person?
No, I was just getting shit done.
Who is Zach? Is that you?
I
What
have
the
no
fuck is
idea.
your name, dude?
I have no idea. It made me change booty cabbage, so I put it for Max Offs, and then apparently that just didn't work either, so.
What the fuck? Dusty's gonna kick my ass.
Wow.
What?
We're playing 7s and 0s.
I don't think I've ever played any sort of
What is
Uno
that
or Zero
supposed
or
to mean?
7-man
I've
anything.
never played that.
7s and 0s.
I don't think.
I didn't jump in time. I suck. Does that mean there are no 7s? I've never played this game though. What the fuck does that mean?
Just 7s and 0s, dude.
How the fuck? Oh, it was said I could play a blue card. I was like, what?
I need another beer.
That's
There's Dusty over there. Mr. AI Dusty.
Al.
gosh.
I gotta turn my music up.
You see how many cards in?
Oh, I forgot Brandon's looking at my stream, bro. You can see what cards I have.
Huh?
You can see how many cards I have. You can see my cards.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's a good observation, Will. Good job.
I'm still gonna
Who
fuck
is
your
it?
shit up.
Am I getting all these draw twos? What is happening?
Somebody's getting them.
Yep. Zach got him.
Is that gonna get them?
Yep.
Oh, and it skips your turn if you have to draw.
Yeah. Ain't no way I don't have a green.
So these are the most made up fucking Uno rules I've ever heard.
You sound mad.
Well, I've never heard the 7-0 thing either.
Sorry, Dusty.
That's all I have, Zach. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just happy that my game is actually working now.
Dusty.
He's pissed.
Damn.
And it skips your turn. That sucks.
Bro jumped in so quick on that.
He was ready.
You know what I think about that?
That's what 7 does. You fucking change
What?
hands with somebody.
What?
So you got Will's hand.
Give me my hand back, dude.
Damn. Dusty hates me, dude.
That was the only thing I had in that color.
Dude, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, yeet.
First.
Holy shit, what's going on? I haven't had a chance to play since I got this deck.
I wish I still had it. Oh man, I mashed every button right there to figure out what it was to try and make you draw.
See, Brandon knows what I have.
It's a C.
Brandon, you son of a bitch.
I'm mashing the button. It won't let me jump in. Is that on me or you? Who was that on? Okay, good. Oh, my turn? Oh, yeah? He don't have a
Do
red.
I ever get to play?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought, Dusty.
Do I ever get to
reverse,
play?
Reverse. I wasn't ready for that. I don't have a red either. There's a red.
Just want to play. Fuck you, Dusty. You piece of shit.
Oh, I don't have a red.
Ah, what was that?
What?
Oh, my arm.
What'd you do?
I feel like someone just stung me.
Yo, I drew every single yellow there was in the deck.
You have to pick who you want to switch with.
Ooh. Back, buddy.
Pull up Brandon's stream real
Look
quick.
at all them yellows I just drew, dude. No, Zach. God
Damn.
damn it.
That's
Training
dirty.
with Will.
I don't have anything.
Zach.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna get stacked on.
No, I had some in one of my hands, but I don't know where that hand is at this point.
Oh, Will get hit with the draw.
The fuck is all this?
Oh, I hit it that time. Hit the jump in.
We're all getting low. You son of a bitch.
Zach has a lot of yellows.
Y'all both have yellows out the ass.
What she's talking about?
Oh, you bitch.
Green. Keep it green.
Bye.
Keep it green.
See ya. There we go. Finally got one.
This son of a bitch with yellows. I'm gonna kill myself.
come on, man. I thought it shifted the other way. Why does it go that way?
These fucking ones, bro. Yeah, Al's getting bitch slapped right now.
Dusty.
I didn't say to play that, did I? It automatically played it.
I think you have to play like the most available thing, or like the next available thing. Al hasn't had a chance to play in forever. Zach, why would you give the AI the chance?
I don't know what you're talking
I
about, dude. It just
play-
said jump in. And I
When's
said,
the last time I got dude, let me play.
He's a slut, dude. He is a slut.
Oh my goodness. This is fucking crazy.
You just played. Calm down.
Yo, that was my first time in like 12 moves.
Have these, Brandon.
Thank God. Thank goodness. Oh, yes, sir.
Zach, you're telling me you had 5 yellows?
Wait, Will. What is the Uno button on the controller?
I think it's B.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Mash either B or square. What colors did you have, Brandon?
Me? Fuck if I remember.
He did not have a green.
Yellow and blue,
I
I
know
think.
he didn't have a green.
You just did Brandon.
Please tell me that's not to me.
Yeah, I know he didn't have a green.
Please tell me that's not to me.
It
You
is to you.
motherfucker.
He chose a color I didn't have. It was made me do it.
This poor fella.
Who?
It
Me?
just adds to his arsenal.
Have fun, bitch. Damn.
He's quick with it. He's really fucking quick with it.
How? I made it in time to jump in.
Brandon, he has a blue and a yellow.
What a cheap way to play, Talon.
He has a blue and a yellow, Brandon.
Sure
You didn't say Uno, bitch.
I did. I was mashing the button the whole time.
Which button?
You.
What do you mean you?
Dude,
I told you the
I don't know which
controller.
one is.
The controller doesn't work for me.
No!
Oh,
Yes! No!
it's a red one.
Not
It's
good.
a red one.
Not good.
He didn't say Uno.
Okay, we're good.
Then you is the call in range.
This is Zach's having fun. Zach's having a blast.
Green out of all colors, man.
Zach is having a blast right now.
Well, it's better now that the game actually works, but I can't use a controller, so.
Ooh, this dude. Who did blue? Brandon?
Me? Because I knew that guy didn't have blue. What kind of luck is that?
I need green.
It said jump in. I hit it with more than half the time left, and it said nope.
What the hell's taking so long, Brandon?
I don't have a red, dude.
He's a red and a green. Apparently I'm retarded.
Lay down a 5, 6. Okay.
He has a red and a green.
Why not?
Red and a green.
Gonna keep it away from him.
I mean, you're gonna bring it around town. All I have is a red and a green.
Well, that's your problem.
There we
Me
go.
and Zach, we're fine.
Yeah, draw, you little
There
slut.
we go. All right, Zach. Hit me with the +4. Why not?
Yeah, he's mad.
And I still didn't get a red card.
Oh, okay. Okay. Whoa, whoa. What's happening?
How did it skip me?
It's you again now, isn't
It's
it?
you now.
Oh, excuse me.
My God, this is just. Now we need to stop Zach.
Dude, the jump in is bullshit in this game. Absolute bullshit.
I don't really get how any of the mechanics work in this game. Because I feel
You
like
put
none
cards
of the,
down.
None of the buttons actually fucking work. Thank you.
Apparently your shit don't work.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you throats. Alright.
Bro.
Damn, Zach.
Right here drawing the whole
Taking
day.
some cards right there. What? All right, that one I fucked up. Why
Yeah.
are they gonna switch it to Y?
TikTok. TikTok. Oh, you skipped him.
Damn right.
It's a red one. It's a red one. He didn't call Uno.
Dusty sucks.
I know. All he does is take it and then doesn't call Uno. Brandon has a red one.
He's got 3.
Yeah, but he also has a red one.
Oh. Okay.
Keep that in mind. Dusty ain't got greens.
Don't. Oh, I thought he was gonna hit me with something.
All right, now Brandon has a red one. There goes Brandon's red one.
Fuck Dusty.
You can call it before you put the card down.
Now we don't know what Brandon
Just
has.
figured that
Wait, let me
out.
pull up his stream. Let me pull up his stream.
Mine?
You have a blue 5. I know you do, cause you try to
I
put
got a
that.
blue skip.
You
pussy.
try to put nah. He is a blue 5.
How'd I get all these cards? What?
You didn't call Uno a second time, apparently.
Oh my god.
Oh my God! Thanks, Dusty.
Y'all suck.
Zach, Zach.
It just keeps
Thanks,
telling me to
Dusty.
do stuff.
What the?
Thanks, Dusty. Dusty's my friend now.
Dude.
Dude, Dusty loves me now.
Dude, what? If I get hit with this, I
Zach.
swear to God.
Dude, Zach, you were fucking my day up.
Dusty's doing it. I'm just saying it was me. It was the only thing I had at the time.
God damn.
I clicked on the button that said Uno and it just didn't do anything. I click it every time and it does nothing.
I feel bad. You can click it before you put your card down.
I fucking did.
Did it say Uno?
No, it doesn't do anything.
Well,
Are
mash
you
that
on
bitch.
controller or keyboard?
I had to switch to keyboard because my controller stopped working.
Did you just put a 7 down?
Do I have to switch with somebody
Yeah.
if I put a 7 down? Oh, that's fucking stupid. I'm just gonna let it pick for me. This game is the worst version of Uno I've ever fucking played.
Yeah, it's kind of gay. Give me that.
No.
That's the most retarded shit.
Swapping decks with anybody is just fucking stupid.
Yeah, we gotta take jump in out. That's
No.
Jumping.
I mean, not
fine,
jump
but
in,
swapping
but we
decks is-
can't play this 7 shit. It
The
takes
7
too
shit's
long.
fun.
It takes too long.
I don't care how long it takes. We out here.
Oh. Not ready for that.
Oh my God. Sorry.
That's fine. I was just
Fuck, I
gonna
hit
say,
the wrong goddamn button.
what is it doing?
Who? Sorry. Sorry.
It's not like it does anything.
Hurts me.
Don't you do it, Dusty.
You know, oh, how about that? I could have sworn you would have had a bunch of them.
We out here, baby. Oh, he out here,
He's
baby.
got a red. Change it from that.
You son of a bitch! You're cheating, son of a bitch.
Wait, did I actually call it that time?
Wait, Fran, we don't know what Zach has now.
Well, I'm pretty sure he picked the color that he has.
I pick at random.
It's a yellow 9, Brandon. It's a yellow 9. It's a yellow 9.
Cheapest game ever. Fucking
Hey,
swap
he
and
looked at
deck.
my stream, dog.
I can't help what you've got up on the stream.
All right, Brandon, don't turn it yellow. Holy shit, Dusty.
Can't do
He's just
anything.
throwing them down.
What the hell, Dusty?
That's just killing it.
Dude. Alright.
Brandon, I said don't turn it yellow.
What a fucking stupid game, dude.
That was the most
Dude, we're not
retarded.
playing that game mode again. I can't. That's way. I gotta focus way too long. No, get us out of this. We're
Wait,
playing
wait,
classic
wait,
game
wait.
of
There's
Uno.
no other game mode.
What do you mean? There's no other game
do you
mode?
mean?
There's a fucking classic game of Uno.
Dude, that was so funny.
I'm about to go off like the old video with the dude goes off on the Xbox 360 shit. Give me in a classic game.
We said, Brandon, just don't turn it yellow.
How do I leave this shit?
Oh, we're doing a 2v2.
To be fair though, like you don't really get to pick what you put down half the time. I feel like it would just automatically pick
Yo, where
whatever.
are y'all?
That will
I have to
left.
reinvite you. I took off 7-0.
Can I quit, or is that gonna quit the game?
Yeah, quit.
You have to quit. I'm pretty sure. That's what I had to do at least to get out of it because it was still playing with me there. I just added AI into Will Spot. Gosh, it's stupid. Fucking.
All right, Zach. Let's see if we can get a real guy in here.
Look at me like that.
Just started. They can usually join like halfway through. I guess in like at like 8:30. Might as well just turn the audio on the thing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The pre-cum.
There
Brandon.
you go.
Brandon.
Hold on, what am I doing? Hold on.
Okay,
I
look
got
for
it.
you.
1 second left.
Oh yeah, me and Brandon are on the same team. I forgot.
What does that mean?
I don't know,
Did
dude.
I
We
just
got
make you draw
teams.
Polo? Oh.
No. It means the first teammate to get it wins. Trump's coming off his plane.
Hell yeah, let's go Trump. Get it, boy. Come out with the game face on.
Yo, Zach, that's so not chill.
I
How
thought
was
you were on
that
the other
already
side.
at 2 cards.
I'm not even at 2 cards. I got 7.
Yo, let me at him. Let me at this guy.
I can't do shit.
He's got a blue. He's got a blue. Don't do it, Zach. Whatever you're about to do.
I didn't really have a chance to do anything.
Yeah, screw that.
There
Yeah.
we go. Alright, Zach.
Sorry, Zach.
No, it's okay. It's just a part of the game.
Why? Sorry, Zach.
Sorry,
Part of the
Zach.
game.
Damn.
What? Why didn't I get to throw my one in?
Too slow.
It's got to be the same
It didn't
color.
even give me an option.
You can only
It
jump.
still didn't let me do it.
You can only jump in if it's the same color and number.
Stupid. Sorry, Zach.
What do you mean that's stupid? What do you? You just want to put all 9s down at the
Zach
same
so many
time?
times.
It's only been 4 times.
Sorry, Luna.
Okay, Luna will recover.
Oh, she about to drop some shit on me. Okay.
Ooh.
What is
What?
going on, dude? I'm having a panic attack with all this. It's like overstimulation. Dog, I just want
Zach.
to play.
How does yours work? Mine does not work.
Oh, it's because I stopped using the controller and mouse and everything's 1,000 times easier.
Brandon, I know you didn't
mean,
have what you had and you put the yellow one down.
What do you mean?
If you put the other thing down, I had the shit to finish.
Oh,
And you put a fucking... Now look where we're at, Brandon.
dude, that's your fault.
Now this is where we're at, Brandon. You didn't call Uno, Brandon.
How do you call Uno?
You fucking...
How do you call Uno? Why do you have to call it before? Jared, shut the fuck up. We're streaming, bitch.
We're streaming,
Get on
bitch.
Uno.
Hey, how's this guy on my team? He just fucking picked the worst color.
What are y'all playing?
Uno.
Uno.
Ooh, no.
Oh, I just
Really?
left. Whoops.
I'm really good at Uno. Is it on Steam?
It is.
Yeah.
Uno.
Can I
Are we
have
doing Uno
anything?
flip reverse theme? Are we doing Uno 50 anniversary?
No, it's the cheapest.
There's
one
no
on top.
way.
It's-
Well, this is the most expensive.
Remember
one
when I
bought.
told you it was $5 on sale? You didn't buy it?
It's $3.99 right now.
Okay, get it then.
A buy Uno with the promotion of.
I swear he's gonna download the wrong one.
He is.
I know he is.
He is.
I already know he is.
He is. He will.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
He's gonna download like Guess Who.
Jared, we're streaming, so don't say anything fucking stupid, please.
You can say whatever you
never.
want. I approve this message.
And, I didn't realize you guys are streaming. That's
yeah,
pretty
we're,
cute.
we're streaming Uno, and then we got the countdown to the debate in the bottom left in the little box.
I got the Poopa Johns coming.
Oh yeah, well,
Mhm.
that's
Hey,
for you, buddy.
Hoopa Johns, he says.
got a discount.
Oh my
20%
god.
off, so
nice.
Brandon, you better draw something good.
Dude, they're throwing cards down so fast. I don't even
Brandon,
know
you
what
have
to
thrown
do.
this game so many times.
Of course, he ends it on a +2. Fuck you, Zach.
Oh, I apparently got some sort of anime card unlock.
oh, that's fucking cool, dude. What is it? Dragon Ball Z? I mean, no.
No, just some chick. I don't know who it is.
Is it Bulma?
I wish, dude. Actually, yeah, I wish.
Yeah, me too. Android 18 too.
Mm.
Chi-Chi? Oh.
You were giving me brain damage.
Dude, I didn't know what to play right there. Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Jarrett. He comes in the
Oh.
call is just straight tisms.
I mean,
What
he's
do you mean by that?
There.
What do I mean by
Sure.
that? Say with your chest.
Say with your chest. What comes after that?
Probably a hard R. I don't know, man.
What?
I ain't about it.
Light it down.
I ain't about it.
Baby, light the doors and turn the lights down low.
All right, Brennan, do it. You know what to do.
You know what to
Uno.
do.
Uno is complete.
Do it. Make it yellow. You know what to
Uno
do.
can
What are
be
you
played.
doing?
Uno wants you to touch its cards.
I knew it, Will.
You didn't know anything. You didn't know anything.
You see?
You're
See?
so
You gotta
retarded.
trust me on this, alright?
I wouldn't trust you with.
Wait. Why can't I go on top of that?
Stack it, dude. Stack it.
How? Ah, there it is.
Brett-
There it is.
Zach just ruined his teammate, dude.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter anyways.
Zach just hit his teammate with the oopty wop.
I mean, it doesn't matter anyways. You're gonna win. It doesn't.
Whoopty
It was
wow.
over anyways.
W. The heck did I unlock?
I unlocked something too. Wait. Get me out of this.
Wow.
Cause you left.
Nobody left.
No, like I don't. We're playing with AI people. Get me back to start.
What are you talking about right now?
Nothing.
My game froze. What happened?
All right, hold on. I'm gonna cut up the audio.
I'm on this bitch.
Okay,
Oh,
we're
good.
coming.
I'm on it.
Hey, wait.
The hell?
Hey, dude, I have Uno Valhalla cards unlocked.
Why, tell me why Uno's booting up on my small screen. I hate this.
Winter theme, they got Rayman. Shit, I got Rayman. I am Rain Man. Ooh, that's cool. Alright, where's the invite?
Alright, I'm inviting y'all now.
Alright.
Dude, this song is banging.
Yeah. Whatever I'm listening to too, man. It's like,
Oh yeah?
yeah, I don't see the invite though.
Dude. Stressing me out already, man. Stressing me out. We're doing 7-0?
I don't know what that means, but yes.
Oh, yeah. Jared loves 7-0.
Yeah.
Alright, everybody's got an invite. I gotta pee.
Shift F2. I have to do that.
Brian, tell him how to do it.
Oh yeah. Who the hell is Chahafum?
It didn't allow me to have booty cabbage, so that's what I have now apparently.
Oh.
Apparently, booty's a bad word.
Well, I don't know. Brandon,
Yeah.
the picture on there doesn't look like you.
Yeah, it does. It really captures my gray hair.
How'd you get a person?
So when you're back in the lobby, you can go in the top right and you can customize like how your cards look, how your table looks,
Hey.
avatar and stuff.
In the top right?
And no, Jared, you can't buy anything.
I saw a store in there.
Actually, you probably can. Bad idea. Trump will say things that are not true. Okay.
Oh, you listening to the thing?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody that's watching, we're just drinking, chilling, and playing some Uno, waiting for the debate to start. It's gonna be a fun night, everybody.
Oh my god.
Bill, come on.
Uh, your order is almost ready. Making sure everything
What'd you
is
get?
chef's kiss. What? What?
What'd you get?
It's a large pepperoni pizza with 3 things of
Somewhere.
extra garlic from Papa John's.
Bobby.
Papa. Our driver has your
Will.
order.
Right.
They're heading your way.
Rush me?
God damn it, I am.
Why does it say chef's kiss on here?
It means they spit in your
All
food.
right, Jared, you're my partner. I swear to God, if you fuck
I don't
this-
even know how to play Uno. Why did you do that?
They're all
We're on
doing
team.
partners.
I'm just kidding. Ooh, my go.
No, he knows how to play Uno. He just doesn't know how to read.
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
Correct.
That was the dumbest thing you could have done, Jared.
I had nothing.
You fucking
What did you have?
have a green card, you
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't see that.
God damn it.
Zach has a green +2. Be careful.
You made it blue. Reverse, reverse.
Jared, do you not look at your cards? Like, do I have to read you your fucking cards?
You can. I don't know if it'll help
Holy
you.
shit.
I don't know if it'll help you at all.
I feel bad for whoever's teamed up with Jared next. Why are we playing this stupid ass game?
What happened?
You have to choose who you want to swap hands
Hurry
with.
up, Jared. Pick.
If you don't, I'll just pick someone for you.
Oh my god.
That's really funny.
Pick with me.
I didn't
really
pick you. I
funny,
just
actually.
picked you automatically, and I felt it was the safest bet.
Oh my god, Jared.
We got pretty good shit.
Are you fucking kidding me? I got the worst teammate in Uno history.
You do work. Gonna be good. Watch. You wait. You wait. Watch. I got this shit patent.
I'm excited though. I want to see what he does.
Ding 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 ding. 3.
Okay.
Oh, I'm about to get fucked.
Okay.
Oh, I'm done. It's over. Bye.
It's fine.
Dude, he's about to hit me with a draw 18.
Plus 10.
I ain't got shit.
This guy doesn't know anything.
Brandon. Nice Uno, Brandon.
God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have done that one.
God.
Hey, hit it.
Hey, that worked in my
Zach.
favor.
Dude,
What?
nothing.
Yo, do you hear these
I don't have it turned up yet.
guidelines?
2 breaks. They had to put breaks in the debate?
Yeah, dude, this is crazy.
Oh my
When
god.
you say breaks, what do you mean? Like caught the
Uno,
Like they
motherfucker.
not I guarantee you it's not like commercial breaks. I bet it's like we have to sit down and drink some water.
I swear, I think this is probably going to be the craziest debate I've ever seen in my life.
I hope so.
Oh, pussy. I got skipped again?
You got skipped once.
Dang. Damn. Damn.
Oh no. Hurry up, motherfucker. Alright.
Oh. Got it at the last second.
Do it with Jared. Do it with Jared.
What color do you think Jared has?
Just do it.
Green,
Use this.
yellow.
Use the 7. If it's 7, you can take his deck.
I kind of forgot we did that. I'm not gonna lie. It's okay.
What's a 7?
Don't take my deck, Jared.
Just don't click
Okay.
anything for a minute. I just traded you them.
Okay. Or just take my fucking deck. Are you kidding me?
I don't want them to win.
Why would you do that?
You got 2 good cards coming. Look at that. They look great. Those are actually
Yeah,
good.
fantastic. I can't use them.
Yes, you can.
What does Brandon not have?
Next round.
Those are golden.
Zach, you dropped the ball on that one, dude.
We got
You
him.
put on this. I thought we were done with 7 and 0s.
You fucking loser. Y'all were hating, but I knew what I was doing.
If I got to play for half
Oh,
a second,
I quit out of the game.
Wow.
Didn't mean to.
Can you invite him back in?
I'm trying. I don't think it'll let me.
Well, guess we'll quit.
My bad.
Tape and duct tape at this point. But this is my chief, sign. Judge me on that ability so far to navigate an incredibly complex threat environment the United States is facing at a time when the U.S. is no longer the only superpower.
Another beer.
When we talk about going back to the way it was, we are just facing completely
new items,
set
new
of
visual
challenges,
effects.
an incredibly full inbox for this commander-in-chief, Nora. And that's one of the things I think voters need to keep in mind as you hear discussion of all these national security issues, whether it's the border, whether it's China, something directionally they agree on, or whether it's the threat from Russia or other adversaries.
Yeah, the foreign policy I think will be really interesting tonight as well. Margaret Brennan, let's bring in Ed O'Keefe. You cover the White House and you're there a lot. I mean, this is a tough moment for President Biden. That campaign, that White House believe that he's accomplished a lot legislatively, that he's brought inflation down, even though people are still hurting. And yet, what they think, right, is that their accomplishments are not resonating with voters.
They are, if you look at our polling, and I thought it was interesting in the poll we released yesterday, the level of apprehension and concern and pressure on the president to perform well from Democrats tonight. Talking to them across the country, there's a lot of nervousness, anxiousness about what he needs to do. Some believe he should quickly answer his questions and throw it back to the former president, say, force him to fill the time with answers that demonstrate that perhaps he's not that substantive and that many of his ideas are nutty. Others have said that, the strategy tonight, as they've been told by those that were preparing the president, is that the president plans to appeal to the American people while Trump is more likely to be focused on his base. And I think to Gail's point about camera angles and whatnot, that is a huge factor here tonight. Can these two sustain themselves over 90 minutes?
I'll do my best.
What do we learn later happened during those commercial breaks? will either of them stumble either early on or later on? And remember, those first 20 minutes, and this is the case no matter the debate, the first 20 minutes really can encapsulate how this is perceived around the world and among those voters who may yet still be undecided.
So just so you know, now that we're in it, 0 changes everybody's hand around.
Should they stand or should they
If you
sit?
put 7 down, you choose who you want to switch their hand with. So like, if you go down to 7, you get to pick who's whatever.
It is so interesting because as we talk about all this, the candidates did prepare so differently. They are
I
so
don't
different
know
in
about
many
anything
ways.
else.
Let's go back to Nancy Cordes in Atlanta. And
That's
we've
me,
never
Brennan.
seen President Biden in a week.
Will, you're
Who clearly understands the importance of this moment, and they really do want
Yeah,
to change the
Zach and you
trajectory
will.
of this contest.
all right.
Right, they made no bones about the fact that they were taking this seriously.
Zero
He's out
does
of
what
sight
again?
for almost a week.
It switches everybody's hands around.
Like this?
His top advisors. They had a makeshift stage with
Son of a
podiums
bitch.
in the
Yeah,
airplane
man, this is
hangar,
terrible.
where
Damn, Jerry, you had a
long
good
time
hand,
where
dude.
our planes
I know.
were from
That's why
going
Will
on the attack.
drew so many cards.
Just
He knew he was going to switch with
get comfortable
somebody.
with that experience. They know that there's a common fate that tends to
What the
afflict
fuck?
first
You just
term
canceled out your own?
presidents. When they get into that first debate,
I'm just trying
they
to get rid
tend
of all
to
this
do
fucking
pretty
random
poorly.
shit.
Partly because they're busy, they've
got all
got a
that
day
dumb
job,
shit
they
in
don't
your
have
brain.
that much time to prepare, but also because they get a little complacent. They say, you know,
Complacent.
I deal with these issues every day. Why do I need to bone up? That's certainly what happened to
I'm listening
Barack
to the
Obama
stream now,
back in
Brennan.
2012, and he had to course correct pretty quickly. They
Yeah.
realized that that's a
They said
common pitfall, and they
Biden's
didn't want
more
fall
likely to
into it this
appeal to
time.
Americans, while Trump just appeals to his fan base.
Complacent, I should say, or even cocky, because you are the commander-in-chief.
I
That's
can't
sometimes
believe
an
it's
affliction,
dude.
I was like,
that
was like, what do you
happens, too,
mean?
when you're the president of the United States. Want to bring in Robert Costa and Donald Trump.
You know
as
what not to
usual,
use, right, Brennan?
differently for these things. It's almost like
What?
he believes he was born to
Do the
it.
7 and switch with me.
Is the
Nora, I had a little bit
debate
of
going on
fun
right now?
here in the spin room about an hour ago.
Well, I mean,
went to
they're
some
like
Trump allies
setting up
and
for it.
advisors, and I
Starts
said,
at
well, how's
9.
debate prep going? And they, to a T, kept saying, well, former President Trump does not prep for debates. They're sensitive
Hell
about
yeah.
it because, to your point, former President Trump likes to cast himself as someone who's a public figure for 50 years with all of his business experience going back to the 1970s. And he's not someone who likes to act like he's ever prepping, but he is prepping for this debate. He's had informal policy
This is rough,
conversations
Brennan.
with senators, a lot of talk about his age, but it's really about his temperament more than his positions. That's what a lot of the deliberation behind the scenes has been about.
Just got worse.
All right, Robert Costa, thank you for your reporting as well. And coming
That was
up,
his first focus
our
player.
new
There you go.
CBS News polling will break down what voters
Well,
want to
from
hear
Uno to
about
10
in
cards.
tonight's debate.
Damn. Thank you. I didn't have any blues anyway. Now why'd you go and do that, Brennan?
Coming up on series. Wait a minute. Tom, is that you working the camera? Cleaning out your close-up.
Your morning routine just got better. CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7.
Nice. Good.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting. The risk is the risk.
Zach, you motherfucker.
Popularity. I think it's legality.
If it's
Part
legal,
of the game,
it's
apparently.
always too bad when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic.
You're a slut.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening. It's America's most neglected problem.
Nice.
I use sports betting as a way to
What is it, Brennan? Blue too?
choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
Honestly, I can't remember. Oh my goodness. I hope it's not a red too.
Until all your money is gone.
Oh,
Yeah, keep drawing, bitch.
Go to the ends of the
I
earth.
didn't say to play that.
Reach for the stars.
Sucks.
It makes you play the next thing.
That kind of
Oh,
thing.
that's pretty good.
And
Because
no
there's
fucking
always
game
something
bad.
new under the sun on CBS
I guess a lot of the
Sunday morning.
An original documentary from CBS Reports.
That Desired Farm is a wonderful place to raise children, and it still is.
Promises broken.
Black Americans have been the target of racism and discrimination pretty much from the time they acquired ownership in the land.
Costing black
What the hell am I watching?
billions in generational wealth.
They did
Shite.
everything to make
Slaves.
sure we run off that
Slaves.
Slaves built this city.
Collective ownership
No.
is powerful.
This city on
Alive.
to watch my children play on land that we own.
You sure you don't want me to, Mr. fucking no red ass?
40 Acres and a Mule, now streaming on the free CBS News app.
People with developmental disabilities were once sequestered by the hundreds of thousands in institutions.
Bro, use that to still keep it red.
I guess.
That's funny. That's why.
Disability activists have since torn down barriers blocking them from living at home or in
Hell
the
yeah.
community.
Oh, that's not
They
bad.
conclude that Title II of the ADA requires states to provide
That's so mean, dude.
community-based treatment for persons with mental disabilities.
It's only been
But
like 4
of the
turns.
16,000 people who remain in
I'll take it.
state-operated institutions, half are in 5 states, and Illinois is one of them.
Alright,
I
I'm
don't
done.
want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you
Wouldn't allow
think
me.
there are
Why didn't it
people
do it?
living in institutions?
You know how many
in
times I
Illinois
clicked the number
that
2?
don't
It said
need
you want to
be
jump in your number 2.
He's got 2 yellows.
Take it out.
Doesn't matter anyways. You got like 15 sevens.
Give me that shit back. Don't ever do that again.
Good evening. The television and radio stations
still have
of the
another
United
7.
States and their affiliated stations
No, you don't.
are proud to
Come back.
provide facilities for a discussion of issues in the current political campaign by the 2 major candidates for the presidency. The
Look at that. That was the first ever televised presidential debate in 1960. It was hosted by CBS with moderators from all the networks and was
Don't
the
let it be
last
yellow.
time there was no audience at a presidential debate. Welcome back to CBS News, and tonight we will hear the presidential candidates discuss the direction of America and the issues that matter most. This is arguably the most important debate since
shit.
that 1960
I know,
debate. And we
Brandon's
should note
terrible.
also that there's been little movement in the polls between President Biden and Donald Trump. Could this debate change the trajectory? Let's bring in our polling director, Anthony Salvanto. And I know, Anthony, you have new polling out tonight. What are we learning?
I do, and one word for this race, Nora, like you said, it's close.
Ain't nobody letting
This
me
is the
play.
national number. That's well within the margin of error. This is effectively tied.
Really?
But what matters to remind
me
everybody
that fucking
are
deck.
what we call the battleground states, the
Yeah,
closest states,
that
the
shit
ones
sucks.
that will decide this. I'm going to show you a string of those, and this is just even race after even race. Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, all states Joe Biden won last time, but we're close. North Carolina, Pennsylvania,
You're gonna have to
Wisconsin.
draw again,
That
Will.
is your story for context, but the question is why, and what do people want tonight? So what
This motherfucker's
Democrats
colorblind.
say they want Joe Biden tonight to take a more forceful tone. Why is that?
What are you talking
Ed
about?
mentioned earlier about that apprehension. Let me show you this. Among Joe Biden's supporters,
Draw
their
two.
top
I
reason
hate how you
for
can't
voting
move
for
after you have to
Biden
draw.
is, they say, to oppose Donald Trump. So I think you'll see Joe Biden tonight
What'd
try
you
to
say,
make
Will?
this about Donald Trump because he does better when people think it's a
Main
referendum
reason for supporting
on Donald
Biden.
Trump. But Trump, for his part,
54% to oppose
his
Trump.
advantage is that people remember the
More than half of the people that like Biden is just because they don't like Trump. That's it.
I feel like this
they will
shit's
be financially
like that
better
shit's
off
fucking.
if
gotta
Donald
be,
Trump
dude.
is president than if
no
Joe
way.
Biden wins.
There's no-
So
yeah, there's
expect
no
Donald
way these
Trump
people
to
are coming
press
out to
that
fucking do
advantage as
Biden
well. And
again.
so what does that mean?
No, they
That
are.
Republicans tonight say
Trust
they
me,
want
there are
Donald Trump
plenty of
to
people I've
take
talked
a
to who are
more
just-
polite tone. They know he's got the base.
There's some of my
but he's
family,
got
too,
that
is the worst
overall edge
part.
on the economy. Final
It's just
point, Nora. We
well-off
asked
people.
Could you learn anything tonight
Yeah.
that you think could change
Well-off
your
people
mind?
that don't feel
And it's
the inflation.
11% who say they definitely could. That's not a big number, but it comes back to that idea of close, Nora.
67% won't change their mind. That's how close-minded people
We've
are.
also learned from Anthony's
it's
polling
crazy.
the importance of abortion rights.
They could sit up
or
there and watch
reproductive
Biden
rights.
have a stroke and they'd be
Margaret,
like,
just
hell
today,
yeah, Biden.
that ruling from
Watch
the
him fall off his
Supreme
mic
Court
again and be
about
like,
Idaho,
look at
which
him
is one of
go,
6
fucking
states in
athletic.
America that has a near total
Look at him take
ban
that fall like a
where
man.
They've lost 20%
snip
of
that
their
child again?
OBGYNs
Man.
because doctors
that
there are
child again.
concerned about being prosecuted for
You know how many times I've watched him like
care, essentially
there's
to women who
there's
may be
compilations on
having a
iPhone of him just
miscarriage.
sniffing children, and the
How
fact
do you
that there's
see
enough
this
videos of
playing
that
out tonight on stage
tells me everything I
and
need
as
to
voters
know.
go to
Yep.
the polls?
And that brings us
Biden
back
sniffer.
to that Supreme Court decision that sent the issue back to the states. And Donald Trump is likely going to say that's where it needs to stay and try not to engage on some of the
Nobody's
substance
smelling
that you
that
just
fucking
laid
old
out in these
magazine.
tough decisions that come down to, is it health care that is life-saving or not in that specific case?
And can I just say why I think that's interesting too? Because then shouldn't Joe Biden make the argument oh, well, I sued Idaho to protect the rights of women
and
who are
won.
in a dire medical situation. Would you not, Donald Trump, have challenged the state of Idaho to protect women?
And it'll be really interesting to
you
see
leave it up to the
how much
states,
he
you
engages on this.
fucking
But
mongoloid.
Joe Biden, as president, rarely discusses the issue of abortion.
I'll go debate Trump. I mean,
and
Biden
he
right
has
now.
said, I'm
I'd
just
debate
not
Trump,
big
too.
on it, was one of his quotes. Some of this has to do with his religious
Would it be like the
conviction.
worst thing ever to
but
have a
to your
president that's
point,
not
this is something that is going to be a political force, no matter how comfortable it is.
I said
This
we
is an
just
uncomfortable topic, period,
we just
to
get a
talk
president
about.
that's like
But
10 years
we know
old.
that
Dude,
in the
give me a
midterms,
red.
abortion was a driving
I mean, like,
force
it doesn't
in
need to
those
be
races in a
that
way
young,
that
but, like,
helped
still,
Democrats.
just
They
not
held on
fucking-
to
Hey, Jared,
the
Jared,
Senate,
Jared,
if you
switch
remember.
with me,
And the
dog.
party is
I know
hoping
you
that when
wanna
it comes to the
switch with me.
presidential race,
Not a
it'll
shot.
also benefit Joe Biden,
Not a
that it will
shot
drive up
in
turnout.
hell.
And we want to show you some graphics.
It won't let me
here.
reach
the
all the way
majority of
over-
Americans, 60%, according to
There
CBS
we go.
polling, believe abortion
A
should
two.
be legal in
Nice
all or
calling
most
Uno,
cases.
hard.
And in a tight
clicked it
race,
15
that
times.
enthusiasm
Did
for
you
an
not hear
issue
me? I
may
was
be
fucking
persuasive
banging
for a
that
voter
shit.
who otherwise might
Banger
not be
banging that thing.
super enthusiastic about the candidate himself. And Democrats are looking at 11 states this fall,
was
they're
mad
on
at
your
me.
screen, where the issue of abortion access
Who cares
will
about abortion? It's
literally be on the
2024.
ballot as a
Stop.
standalone issue.
Fix the economy.
And it includes battlegrounds like Arizona and Nevada. And this single issue could make a difference. Now, the Trump campaign
Why don't
has
we
tried
just
to
give
neutralize
out
the
free coat
political
hangers?
force by arguing, as we were just talking about, that the Supreme Court sent it back to the states to
Brian, I'm gonna
decide
need you to,
on
like,
legality,
do
and that
something
there
about
shouldn't be a
this.
federal policy. But that frustration has frustrated some of the religious conservatives in the Republican Party who want Donald Trump to attempt a national ban or restrictions. Joe Biden's campaign has just tried to harness the political power by arguing that it was Trump who put the Supreme Court
Look at Jared's
justices
face.
on that court that struck down Roe versus Wade, and that reproductive health care of all types, IVF, access to birth control, all of it's under threat if Trump is reelected. Now, that's a message, though,
I guess we know what
we
color
will
he
be
has.
more likely to hear from Vice President
I don't
Harris
know
if
what
she
was
was
done,
on that
honestly.
stage. She's been delivering it for the campaign.
That's just gonna make you
You
draw
will
that.
perhaps hear reproductive health care from Joe Biden, but he may avoid discussing
I'll keep the
abortion,
game going for
directly. Now, one of the things that we also see
No.
in our polling here is that abortion access, it is important as a
That was
galvanizing
gay.
force, but it ranks lower than the
Rather just
economy,
lose.
lower than
Brian, why don't you
inflation,
seven
lower
take
than the
his
border,
card?
lower than the
Fucking
state of
pity
democracy,
shit.
and lower than guns. So it is a galvanizing force, but it is not everything here.
I would say, Nora, being on the road in Arizona in the
On
last
me.
few months, I've heard from liberal and Democratic activists
up
in that
to me.
state who see these polls that show Trump ahead, maybe 1 or 2 points, and they say, no, don't worry about it. We have more volunteers than we know what to
I
do
feel like
with,
I have to do
who are
this
willing
with
to
this.
work with us on knocking on
Okay.
doors and getting people to vote on the abortion issue
It doesn't even give me the chance
turning
to
into
even hit
petition
Uno. It just
ballot
says,
or
okay, we'll
petition
put in this
signatures
card.
next week to get
Got
that
it.
issue on the ballot officially. They expect it to pass overwhelmingly and to help drive support. And that in Arizona, in
There.
Nevada, to some extent in Florida, although the
Damn
Biden
it.
campaign doesn't consider it a battleground. Continue
God
across
damn
the country, confidence among Democrats that they will get the voters they need in a pinch over that issue.
You often hear, though, that people will vote with their pocketbooks, which means your money and your wallet.
Hey,
Whether
Brian.
you have it, whether you don't have it, everybody wants
That was
it.
the dumbest
That's why
shit
the
you heard.
economy really matters. That's one of the main issues for voters. CBS News found while wage growth outpaces inflation, it does so just
You
barely,
don't
which is
take
partly
that
why
shit.
people say they don't feel good about this economy, despite the numbers. Senior business and technology correspondent, there she is, Jolene Kent, joins us now.
It's not letting me
Jolene,
pick it.
help us understand this, because
Do
the
it.
numbers show that the
Oh my
economy is
God,
low, but
dude,
that
it
is
wouldn't let
not
me
how
reach
people
it.
feel. Why is that?
Yeah. Exactly. The numbers are very strong mostly. If you take a look at what we've seen so far, if you invest in the stock market, now not everyone does, the S&P 500 is up 16% year to date.
Brandon,
We're still sitting at these
change
historically
to blue.
low
Change to blue.
unemployment numbers at about 4%. We
Jared
saw
saved
the
me
Dow
'cause he had
closing
red
another
plus
1-month
twos,
high.
dude.
And
I
of
had
course,
2 plus
inflation,
2s.
inflation
Now we can't
that
do
has
it.
cooled off from its 9%
You had red plus
peak,
twos,
and we're
dude.
down now at 3.3%. So
Oh, that's fine.
overall, the
Yeah, that's
numbers
fine.
are strong.
Oh, that's
We've seen
retarded.
these hot jobs reports that we've been reporting on, and so all of the numbers seem to point to things going in the
That's
right
retarded.
direction, but not everyone's feeling that when you just dig a little bit deeper, Gail.
So do
Gail.
you think that the Biden administration needs to do a better job on its messaging? Because they certainly tell us that, but people still don't get that message.
Yeah, it's interesting. I spoke to
That doesn't stack.
Yeah, I spoke to a voter in Minnesota today, an independent
That stacks.
voter who's really on the fence. She voted for Obama in 08, and she voted for Trump in 2020.
You can't stack it when
And
you
she
jump
basically
in.
says for her it comes down to how much she's paying at the grocery store.
When you jump in, it
among
doesn't
other
stack. It
issues.
just
The
jumps
economy is
in.
really important. So if you take a look at our Money Watch price tracker, you can see why she's feeling that pinch. She's got
Grocery
4
cost
kids.
increase
She
since
lives in Plymouth,
2019,
Minnesota.
98%, a dozen of eggs.
Double the price compared to pre-pandemic levels. Of course, that was when President Trump was in office. A loaf of bread up 50%, a pound of coffee up 40%. Gas, of course.
She
you
just tried to
feel
blame
that,
the
up
cost of eggs on
30%. Now,
Trump.
when you look back at just President
She said they
Biden's
went up because
term
of
in
the
office so
pandemic.
far, inflation is indeed up 20%. And that's where we see, even though wage growth
there's
does
also farmers that
outpace
burn down,
inflation, it's not by very much. And then
Yeah.
when you pivot and you take a look at the
Trump's
housing
fault.
market,
Trump
overall
took the gas
housing
can over there.
prices far outpace wage growth. That's where people are feeling a lot of frustration as well. They want to buy a house, interest rates continue to be high.
Like, how are we
and
being
you've got
gaslit?
maybe one
Like,
rate cut on the table.
they said Biden needs to, his campaign needs to be better at telling the American people
Thank you
that
very much, and while we're at
they're
it,
not
the
actually
cost of
doing that bad.
batteries are up,
I'm like,
I was at the
okay.
CVS, AAA batteries, they're up.
I make more than I ever
We
have.
eat a lot of eggs in my house because I have 3 teenagers, so I've noticed that as well.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, when we come back, we'll look at
hard
what
to watch it
lessons
anymore.
the candidates may have learned from that
I'm glad I
last
did all that for
presidential
one.
debate. Remember those debates
I just
in
want to see Trump
2020? They were
whip it
hot.
out.
You're watching CBS News.
Did anybody see that I just got skipped right there?
No.
Well, all Will did was put down a 1.
No, I didn't see.
No, I jumped in, so it's good.
Oh.
I didn't see it either. I'm sorry.
What the fuck is that?
Who's the fucking bootlicker that just gave me a 4?
When you wake up in the morning, we want to be your go-to team.
Oh.
Nate has one of the quickest.
Oh, it didn't let me jump in. I hit the wrong button.
Tony has a way of making people feel comfortable.
Gail is unbelievable.
Take my deck.
To ask the question that you're asking at home.
I've been told I could talk to a tree, and that's pretty much true.
1, let's see.
I don't go to work in the morning. I go for coffee with my 2 good friends.
Take my
and we
deck.
talk about the world.
Take my deck.
Your morning routine just got better. CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7.
Take my deck. Take my deck.
That's exactly
It
what I
didn't
was
seem like
expecting to
anything could happen.
Take my deck.
Nothing
I got
ever
to go
happens
again,
in East
so I can do this.
Palestine.
Thank God I get to go again because I can do this.
That was smart, Zach. That was.
Got rid of Ethan
Authorities
cards,
released
Netflix.
toxic fumes from 5 derailed train cars.
I got rid of 4 cards right there.
Oof.
Acute bronchitis due to chemical fumes. Did you ever have these problems before the derailment? No, ma'am.
This neighborhood's not safe no more.
We can assure the community
Ooh.
there's not vinyl chloride entering
I
the
looked at your
communities.
deck. I don't
Then
even
why
remember
are there
what cards
so
you
many
had.
people feeling these various
I
symptoms,
remember.
bloody noses,
Yeah, remember we just
difficulty
switched for a second?
breathing, bronchitis?
I don't even
That's
remember.
a
I
hard
was look at
question
it.
to
I
answer.
didn't even
We're
fucking
talking
look at
about
it.
one of the most blatant releases of a mixture of some of the most toxic
I'll tell you what he has.
chemicals that we've seen in America.
I feel like now I have a duty to warn other communities. If my daughter has to watch me
because
die
you
of
waited
cancer,
too long,
at
it just
least it's
keeps drawing
safe.
into my
Bro, I
eyes.
was clicking the fucking shit out of this thing.
God damn, Jared, draw the whole fucking deck.
No shit, dude. I clicked
You didn't even lay down a card.
Dude, I
But
clicked.
it's
You know how many
not
times I clicked the
fiction.
fucking yellow card I have?
48 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Damn, that thing pity drew us.
4 families
Shit's
shattered.
buggy, dude.
Uh-oh.
No physical
Uh-oh.
evidence.
You were laughing at him. Oh, no.
Here we go. There's no more yellow.
There's some
Yep, there's
questions
the
that
yellow.
have to be asked and need to be answered.
Shit, we're never going to let Zach play.
John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original. 48 hours. Now
Hey, Jared, I got
streaming
you.
on the free
Why didn't let
CBS
me
News
jump
app.
in?
I'll jump
Come on, bro.
Stories that inform.
Or you can
Didn't
be
even give me
really
an
old at 60, and you can be really
let you
young at
pick?
85.
Inspire.
How do we unlock
Yeah.
the power within
Get nervous.
ourselves to be who we want to be?
And brighten your day.
The best part of fame is making people feel good. Always send the people home happy.
Make every day a little more like Sunday morning.
You're using keyboard and mouse and controller.
Stream now on the free CBS News app.
Oh, God.
That's the only way I can do it. I tried controller earlier.
and welcome to our Dragon capsule here in space.
Sightseers in space, the thrill of a lifetime.
Seeing the Earth from space, it was so exhilarating.
But the risks that come with the territory.
There have been 4 fatal
controller
accidents.
didn't work for me.
1% fatal accident rate.
Might make you look.
Jared's about to have it. He laid his head back.
Airplanes falling out of the sky would have a public crisis.
Space tourism, now streaming on the free
What the fuck is
CBS
going
News
on?
app.
What's not working?
When I click on it, it's not doing it.
Y'all are just struggling.
There really is a struggle.
You give away a +4.
American people should speak.
Yeah.
Hit him with the
You should go
+4, bro.
out and vote. You're in voting now. Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now. Make sure you, in fact, let people know you're senators. I'm not going to answer.
Jump, Brennan. Jump, Brennan. Jump, Brennan.
The radical left. Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe? Who's on your list?
Gentlemen, I think
This is so unprecedented.
we have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the second segment.
That was really a productive segment.
Whoa.
Keep yapping.
That was
man.
crazy.
People understand, Joe. 47 years, you've done nothing. They understand.
All right.
I ain't got shit.
Remember that debate and all the interruptions? That was the first time that they debated. That was September 29th, 2020. Let's talk about the lessons from that debate for this rematch. John Dickerson. Well, clearly the microphone is going to change things tonight, so there won't be as many interruptions.
That will change things.
They're really trying to justify
it's
this
questionable about what
microphone
Donald Trump
shit that they
learned.
did.
We know, those of us who covered the Trump presidency, is that there were often moments where his aides, his family went to him and said, you got to tone it down. You've got to be more presidential. And it would stick for very short periods of time, but his gut is something he believes in. Aides have variously talked about his times at rallies as creating a sense of giving him oxygen. He wants to be that person. That person was the one interrupting Joe Biden. The problem for Trump in that debate was that people thought,
what are you
and the
listening
polling
to?
showed this, we don't want 4 more years of that in our living room. Joe Biden was there as a representative of returning the norms of the presidency. We'll see how, and if any of those lessons conveyed to tonight.
Because people thought, oh my gosh, it's the pandemic. Life is too chaotic. I kind of like this Joe Biden. He seems more calming than Donald Trump. Those were the stylistic, at least, differences. There was a lot more, obviously, but that's what I'm saying, that debate and the chaoticness of it, I think probably stuck with people.
The chaoticness?
As I recall, Nora, at the time when he said,
You mean the
'cause we're all
chaos?
raised in houses where your parents tell you, do not tell anyone to shut up.
I know, Zero
the time
Wars.
When he said shut up, I think most people actually understood why he felt
My
that,
money
because
went a
he was
long
so
way.
exasperated trying to get a word in edgewise.
Damn.
I'd be curious to know where in the debate that moment came. I don't remember it as we sit here today.
It was about halfway through.
It was halfway through.
And even in the room, because we were up in the rafters watching this whole thing, you could just feel it in the room. Everyone was just like, oh gosh, is this what it's going to be like,
Oh, gosh.
when they meet again? The
Well,
fact
also
that the
probably
microphone
Oh,
was
gosh.
muted, first of
Keep
all,
drawing if you
we've
didn't
all
do
heard
that.
from people, sources,
Oh,
friends,
gosh. Oh,
family,
golly.
how excited they are that they're
You're
finally
drawn.
implementing that rule.
Who do you
So
think
how
that
does that
benefits?
change? I don't know.
You don't.
And I really wonder if either of them has practiced for that phenomenon, because our friends at CNN pointed out yesterday how it's going to work. And if it goes as they say it will, you literally will see lips moving, but you will not be able to hear them. So do they practice facial
Just changing my
expressions?
volume.
Do they, scoff?
Okay.
Or do they just stand there and shake their head? No, it's not true. They're going to have to wait their turn. And that changes the dynamic in all these things. Because what do we always seize on? It's those moments of friction.
But
Friction.
and that is the theater, and that is about the impression. And if you remember in that period in time back in 2020, Joe Biden was running on this argument of competence in the midst of chaos, restoring order. I mean, we didn't have a vaccine then. We were in the midst of this pandemic that had upended our lives, and that's what's so interesting about Anthony's polling about the economy and people remembering it fondly under Donald Trump, forgetting he was the one who shut
I know,
down
we have the exact
economy
same- the exact
because of
opposite
what was happening. But I
cars.
think in our polling, one of the things that's so interesting, Ed, is when we talk about the seriousness of the issues facing the country
Yeah, I didn't have a
now,
red.
and we are only hearing
picked
the
red.
theater. We haven't
does
heard,
Jared come
when
back
you look
and
at the
just
polling,
automatically
75% of voters say Trump should explain his plans
I don't
for
have
the
green
future.
either.
69% say Biden should. That implies they haven't heard the
Jump in, Brennan.
affirmative argument for the future of the country.
We haven't heard it from either of them.
Well, in
From
fact,
either,
the studies have been done by even conservative-leaning economists that Trump's plan to expand tariffs would actually lead to an increase in inflation,
In inflation,
correct? Yes. And so that is something that has
Expanding
that sort of sharp
tariffs
policy
would
debate that I
increase
think that voters
inflation.
are craving. Wait a minute, I do want to know what their
Charging
plan is
other
for the
countries
future. How
more
are they
to
gonna
bring
make
shit in
my life better
would
and
make
my
our
children's
money
lives
worth
better?
less.
What are they going to do for me, the
Is what
taxpayer?
what she's
And
trying to
also,
say.
this goes back to, did you prepare for the debate or didn't you prepare for the debate? You can't riff your way through
He just looked at that
You
shit.
can't just wing it and be kind of, in the moment when you're dealing with things like alliances that need to be tended when you have invasions happening. You can't just decide on your economic policy on the fly when you've got massive moving forces globally. Also, with the advent of artificial intelligence, you have to have a plan. You have to think things through. You have to anticipate. And all of that
God, these people
comes
are
down to
so
this
retarded.
stylistic difference between the two of them. So it is theater review, but it attaches to a crucial thing about the presidency, which is that it is a job that you cannot just improvise your way through.
Don't you find it hard to believe that he's done no preparation? I mean, I know he says that he's prepared for this his whole life when he goes out on rallies, but this is such a big moment for both of them. Because the research, I know Margaret and Nora are like, yeah, I can kind of believe it.
What in his previous behavior would lead you to believe that he's cracking the books?
Because I just think that this is different. There is so much at stake for both of them. There always is. But in this particular case, Joe Biden has to bring it to show, look, that I'm physically capable of doing this. Donald Trump has to show that I can be, quote, presidential, that I can, quote, behave. Well, he can do that.
Yeah.
They both have something to prove to the audience tonight.
We're going to find out in less than 25 minutes.
She said,
I know, exactly.
She said Joe Biden has to prove that he can
battleground states.
That he can.
How each campaign thinks they can achieve victory
She said Trump needs
to 270 electoral
She said
votes.
she said
Remember,
Trump needs to prove that he can behave,
battleground states.
and Biden needs to prove that he can handle the debate. I'm like,
dude, what are we in fucking kindergarten again? Like, what are we doing?
I'm like, yeah, Biden.
Hey, you know how crazy that is? That this is our president that we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
That Trump has to be.
Washington is the seat of power, national security, foreign policy, global economics. Every story comes through Washington in some way. We bring some of the most powerful voices in America to the table. We don't just ask the questions, you have to go deeper. We try to understand what's at the heart of the issue we're talking about, to then come forward with solutions.
I just reported you.
On CBS.
Oh, good, dude.
Get reported.
The justices ruled that Harvard and the University of North Carolina violated the Constitution.
In the aftermath of the Supreme Court decision to end affirmative action in college admissions, uncertainty sets in for some students of color.
Affirmative action really gave us an equal opportunity.
CBS Reports explores the historic decision and what it means for those chasing an opportunity to change their lives.
I knew that college was the ticket to break this cycle.
The end of affirmative action, now streaming on the free CBS News app.
Tell me. Tell me, please.
Okay, let's go. You guys good?
Oh my God, Brandon's control.
It's the clock. It's ticking.
Off we go.
60 minutes.
Brandon.
60 minutes.
It's time for 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
An original documentary from CBS Reports.
AI is among the most world-changing technologies ever.
Curing diseases, scientific breakthroughs, making lives better.
They can help us with medical discoveries, scientific discoveries, doing better agriculture, having cures for things like Alzheimer's.
It's also going to really transform the way we work.
The uplifting potential of artificial intelligence is limitless.
It gives you a friend, somebody to chat with 24/7 that is non-judgmental. He makes you feel loved and desired.
And so are its downfalls.
The problem with all this AI is that it's unpredictable and uncontrollable.
It goes until he has something playable, but then it doesn't play it.
Decades, maybe even centuries.
The ChatGPT revolution, now streaming on the free CBS News app.
We are about to see American weapons in the hands of Mexican cartels.
A gun pipeline to Mexico.
We are arming the cartels.
100%, no doubt about it.
Happening right under our noses.
Who's doing something about this? Nobody.
A CBS Reports exclusive.
Most Americans have no idea that we are effectively arming the enemy next door.
This is the story the American people need to know.
It kicked you.
Now streaming on the free
It kicked
CBS
you.
News app.
I would just kick them out.
America decides.
Try to join. Just try to join.
American democracy.
The most important stories on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis.
You're going to hear a lot of reporting.
It is clearly a pivotal moment.
Gun control, the economy, education. Both sides of the political aisle fight it out for power.
Bringing you the analysis that you need.
Thoughtfully, with context.
Be part of the conversation.
On CBS News Stream.
Welcome to America Decides, Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Sorry, I was trying to invite Brandon. Y'all are out here being douchebags, dropping a bunch of
Welcome back. to debate night coverage here on CBS. We are just moments away from that debate, and we're learning President Biden has just arrived at the debate site. After the debate, President Biden is going to head to North Carolina for a rally tomorrow. North Carolina is one of 7 states where this election will be decided. Now, of those 7 states, Joe Biden won 6 of them in the last election. The one state that he did not win was North Carolina, right, Major Garrett? But I know you're going to break it down for us because I am so obsessed with these 7 states.
Exactly.
My
good evening,
teammate's
Nora.
such a
Good evening,
douche.
everyone. I know it feels a little early to bring back our old friend, the Electoral College map, but look, we have a presidential debate in June, so it gets early around here with the campaign 2024. So, stop me if you've heard this before. Who wins this election is going to come down to 7 battleground states. Nora just referred to them. What are they? Let's go through them once again. Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and as Nora just mentioned, North Carolina, as well as Georgia. Now, in 2020,
our teammate rotated all the cards, and
we asked each campaign, what do they think is the easiest path for them to achieve?
All right, I'm done with this because the debate's about to start.
The incumbent President Biden. Now, if he wins all the lean and likely Democratic states on our friend the map, he just needs
debate's
to
gonna
win
start
the states
soon.
the campaign affectionately calls the blue wall. That's Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. The president would also again need to pick up the 1 electoral vote from Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. That would put him at exactly 270 electoral votes. We all know that's the magic number. Now let's flip to the Trump side of the equation. If he wins all the lean and likely Republican states he won 4 years ago, the campaign feels their clearest path to victory, hold North Carolina, which he won in 2020,
I'm just going to commentate on how
battleground states Georgia
stupid
and
Biden is.
Pennsylvania. That would bring Trump right to 270. Of course, we all know the easiest path to victory is not always how elections play out, so here's at least one more scenario.
I'm really bad.
Let's say Trump carries every state he won in 2020, along with the same electoral votes from Nebraska and Maine. That would put him at 235 electoral votes. If Trump wins the 3 states he lost in 2020 by less than 1%, that's Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia, he would have 272 electoral votes to be returned to the Oval Office. Nora and everyone, back to you.
All right, Major. Thank you. Gail?
Thank you, Major. We are joined now by CBS News political contributors, Democratic strategist Joel Payne, and Republican strategist Terry Sullivan. Guys, good to see you both.
I made it.
Hey there, hello. Hello. Joel, we're going to start with you. What do you think Biden needs to do tonight to win this debate?
Are we staying in here?
There are 2 C's, contrast and consolidation. The president needs to focus on consolidating his base. It's something that Donald Trump has been able to do more effectively to this point. Joe Biden needs to focus on bringing home those core Democratic constituencies that have waned a bit in public opinion polls. And I think focusing on abortion, focusing on democracy, I think he'll hope to accomplish that. And accomplish that with contrast, showing that this is a race between 2 very different presidents with 2 very different visions of America. And I think if Joe Biden is able to put that forward, he and his campaign will feel very confident that they have a successful night tonight.
We'll see. You know, Terry, listen, Donald Trump could almost say the exact same thing. What does a win look like for him tonight?
You know, in my experience, Gail, of prepping candidates for these debates is you've got both a strategic goal and a tactical goal. And the tactical goal is to have that viral breakout moment, that soundbite. And that's really important. Whatever the message is, that you have these moments that are concise and get played over and over again for days after the debate. Strategically, Trump needs to make this about the issues that voters care about and that he's leading on, like the economy, inflation, crime, the securing the border. Those are the issues that he's really, winning on at the moment, and that voters care about the most, and prosecute the case against Joe Biden for doing a poor job on those issues. And I think he can do that.
Terry, I think you're so right about a viral moment, because for people that don't watch the whole debate like we intend to do, what they rely on are those clips that they see on the news the very next day. Thank you both.
All right, good.
All right, ahead, we'll give you a sneak peek into how we plan to fact-check the candidates.
All right, let's see. We gotta spin this thing. There we go. We gotta go this way.
Go to the ends of the earth.
Right now.
We got something crazy.
and reach for the stars.
There we are.
Yes, it's my comeback.
Hey, this is pretty fun.
You want to just move to the other chat?
Experience thought-provoking,
Welcome to the idea of being a human being.
We'll do the
and
drinking game.
truly original reporting.
Look through a telescope and go, wow.
Huh?
Because there's always something new
Just
under
move to the other one, 'cause
on
then-
CBS Sunday morning.
You want to hear us?
At this moment, terrorists could be plotting another attack.
9/11 triggered a counter-terrorist system that included a secret database.
This person needs a closer look.
A growing list of nearly 2 million people, including some Americans who say they're innocent.
For 1 hour flight, I have to spend 6 hours
Alright,
to
Brennan.
go and come back.
CBS Reports explores the system, the people responsible for it, and those pushing for change.
I'm not fighting against fighting for them to do the right thing.
The Watch List, now streaming on the free CBS News app.
Don't miss true crime anytime you want, anywhere you go. With a 48 Hours podcast. Real crimes, real lives.
Yeah, just mute him.
Justice.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Listen to 48 Hours on Apple Podcasts.
An original documentary from CBS Reports.
Imagine yourself in Manhattan with no police, no army, no mayor.
The people of Haiti stare down poverty, corruption, natural disasters, and violence.
90% of the guns that are used by gangs in Haiti are American guns.
But with an unbreakable spirit and eternal optimism.
There are days where I cry, but we can't be discouraged. We still believe in Haiti.
They're still able to look ahead with hope.
Haiti is on the brink of transformation, a radical shift. Haitians are coming together and saying things must change.
Fighting for Haiti, now streaming on the free CBS News app.
Hey there, welcome to The Uplift.
I thought she was a groom, and I stepped back and I went, oh, you're the queen. She's going to be with me every instant that I'm alive.
I just wanted to see if you could go to Disneyland with me today.
I look over at him and he's smiling.
I'm going to remember that the rest of my life.
They told us when he was going to be born, he was only going to live for 30 minutes. It's really a miracle that he's with us today.
The Uplift, stream now on the free CBS News app.
When you wake up in the morning, we want to be your go-to team.
On our places, bright shiny faces.
I don't go to work in the morning. I go for coffee with my 2 good friends, and we talk about the world.
Your morning routine just got better. CBS Mornings. Your morning routine.
I don't even know what to expect.
CBS Mornings.
Like, I really don't.
A CBS News investigation.
I feel like Biden's gonna come out being his crazy ass.
To anybody?
And sometimes losing their
Dude.
lives.
All jacked up with the shot in his ass.
On the free CBS
Yeah.
News app.
He's gonna be on drugs.
You're looking at Atlanta, and we are just minutes away from the first presidential debate. A lot will happen on the stage there, and our team here will fact-check what the candidates say. Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett is leading that effort. Major, I think it's going to be a busy night for you.
It's going to be a busy night. Look, the campaigns and the candidates will fact-check themselves. But we have a team of journalists that we have built here at CBS, not for just this debate, Nora, but for the entire campaign and for everything that falls into the disinformation, misinformation space. Forensic journalists, data journalists who will do this work 7 days a week from now until forever, basically. Tonight, we will unveil the CBS Confirmed team to take a look at the things that the campaigns and the candidates say tonight that most need a fact check. Either there's missing context or it's a complete falsehood. We will explain all of that and, not just tonight, but throughout this process with the CBS Confirmed team, show our work. How did we reach the conclusion to
All right, so what's the drinking game?
Identify it as something false
Every time
or something in between. Well, I'll explain the verdict we've reached.
Says something stupid.
That's excellent.
You still have my stream up?
To that. It's such an important element of what we do.
You still have my stream up?
I also just think about having
I got it up on my phone.
It says it on the. I have like a little thing on there.
Candidates lay out big pieces of policy, like their tax plan or their health plan, or in the case of Trump, who has talked about a lot of things that he was going to unveil. It just hasn't happened. There's no big policy.
Why does quality look so bad?
How much we used to talk
They only
about
do 720p on CBS.
And it
That's
was
what- that's
a
how I
constant.
do,
And then
too.
in the Democratic primary, one of the things is that ideas weren't really debated in the Republican primary because the major candidate didn't participate. So we haven't had debate, policy debates have kind of died out over the last several cycles, but they're really,
Yeah,
it really
Trump.
now is.
All right, so everybody
and that's one
has
of
to
the
drink
challenges for
when
moderators
Biden
tonight, just
gaffes.
to get them to do
Trump
more
brings
than
up
just
Hunter.
give kind of a top
CNN
line, but in
interrupts
fact,
Trump.
articulate what and how their
Convicted.
policies work.
Anyone says convicted felon, Sleepy Joe.
Because they're two
You gotta
presidents.
finish
Because
your
they're two
drink.
presidents, and because there
If
seems
Biden
to be such
freezes up,
dissatisfaction with both candidates on
Trump
both
pulls
sides.
out.
I also find
I
that
can't
very
even
fascinating.
see
Both
that.
sides say, I'm
What
not
does that
happy
say?
with my choices.
I think back to the debate that y'all moderated in early 2020. What was one of the biggest headlines?
I don't even
coming
know
out
what
of
that says, guys.
Well, that was like
Sorry.
herding cats. though.
And then Trump compared to Hitler, or CNN cuts the feet.
Nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court, and I will make that
So
happen on my
we're
first
gonna
choice.
see
That
what
was a
happens.
new
It's gonna be
Policy
fantastic.
thing. It was a headline. It was something he could run on the rest of the time. What's to say one of them doesn't do that tonight and suggest something meaty and somewhat policy driven that drives headlines?
Who might that be, Ed?
Who would propose that?
Yes.
I mean, either of them could do it.
No, who might
but
that be that you think would create a headline? Because I think debates are about messaging and they're about moments. It's what Terry said. Somebody is going to try to make a moment, whether deliberately, in a good way, or inadvertently.
But we want
somebody wants a moment.
But we'll stay grounded and knowing that actually they're not defined by what they do in these 90 minutes. They have huge, long records.
Yes.
Promises made in the evening. We have a record against which we can check them, whether they're just blowing smoke or whether they've put together a team and a vision to execute that idea. Because these two candidates have been tested in the job and facing the reality that tonight might get into fantasy.
And how do you characterize each other's record? Each president has 4 years, nearly 4 years for Joe Biden, a full 4 years for President Trump. And if they wade into that and they mischaracterize that, we will be there to describe what is or isn't true.
What we see in our polling so often, though, is the short memories Americans have.
Sure.
And so it's not just fact-checking, it's reminding people that when they tried to recast Donald Trump as Ronald Reagan, peace through strength, well, actually, he tried to pull troops out of Germany, South Korea, and Japan. That it is not about America fighting wars now, as Donald Trump will say. America's not actively involved in wars. We're just in such a different information space, and I think that's what's fascinating about what you're doing here, Major, where we are not just fact-checking and elevating truth. We have to actively bring down untruth and tell you, no, this is wrong, this is why it's wrong, because that eco-space out there is spreading these untruths in ways, in outlets other than ours.
We are moments away from this debate. Let's get a quick check-in with Nancy Cordes and Robert Costa there in Atlanta. Nancy?
Nora, the president is going to want to talk about a range of issues tonight: reproductive rights, taxes, the economy. But first and foremost, he wants to make the case that Donald Trump is too dangerous to allow back into the Oval Office. He'll say he's now a convicted felon, that he inspired the January 6th insurrectionists, that he admires dictators, that he's under indictment here in Georgia in this very county, Fulton County. That is the overarching case that he's looking to make in the next 90 minutes.
Nancy Cordes, thank you. Robert Costa, you are there in the spin room as well. Final thoughts.
I just was speaking to some Trump campaign advisors, and they said this is all about former President Trump trying to win over those Nikki Haley Republicans. He's already got his base, but can his temperament tonight, his personality, his answers on really important policy issues, can it convince independents, traditional Republicans, those who have skepticism about him, to give him another shot, a full look? We'll see. 90 minutes, it's political war between these two.
Robert Costa, thank you very much. And, you know, I'm anxiously awaiting what's going to happen, because I do feel like this is going to be not only a clash of personality, but hopefully a clash of ideas about not only their own records, but what they'll do in the future.
And, you know, Nora, one of the things that comes back to me again and again is how serious the issues are that are facing the country right now. And that it has to be more than a tweet or a bumper sticker, and that we are excited there's a debate when that used to be the very basic expectation of what voters were required to hear, an actual cogent, explanation of what someone was offering when they were arguing to be your commander-in-chief.
And when there's a bipartisan agreement on immigration about how to do that, where Democrats went the most conservative that they've ever gotten and pushed them there, and they still couldn't get a deal done.
Americans can steal this debate back from the political system and say, they didn't answer my questions, they didn't talk about what I want, and demand that from the candidates. They don't have to take what's being fed tonight.
All right, thanks to all
Here
of
we
you.
go,
Our
here we
coverage
go.
of the CNN presidential debate will continue momentarily.
Why does she laugh like that?
What are you watching? The CBS one?
Yeah.
Who laughed?
The girl.
Hit live, just to make sure you're live.
Let's just start at the beginning.
Well, let me start with this. What is at stake here? What is the answer then?
Do you know why? You want me to just
I'm watching 60 Minutes.
Yeah, me too. Close.
Are you saying they lied?
Have you totally go?
Oh man, let's go.
That's exciting.
Excited.
Is that scary?
Does that make sense?
What does that mean? Did any of that make sense? What's your response?
Why?
It's time for the CBS News Original 60 Minutes, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
There is no more room in our city.
New York City is receiving record numbers of migrants.
Today, we're going to have more than 500 adults and children come through that door.
Tensions rise as shelters reach max capacity.
We don't have to take care of them.
CBS Reports goes inside a crisis cities and families are facing as they fight to survive.
The United States still has a glimmer of hope for people to come here.
Fighting for a future. Now streaming on the free CBS News app.
On Face the Nation, the way to learn is to listen.
We may have a recession.
Listening to how someone explains themselves is so key to understanding their perspective.
An original documentary.
Oh, Shank, are people getting rocked?
How much food you've wrestled.
Dude said, "Good luck." It's kind of crazy how few of these are left.
I can't even fathom how much
People getting rocked?
And that's one little person in one little city in America. We're going to call this chicken.
You're still alive, Brandon, right?
We did 450 of these meals today.
This is
All right,
the
cool.
exact dish you and I are going to have.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Is it good? Mm-hmm. Having a plan of how to keep people fed should be in every single city.
I feel like I should turn the
Hunger.
audio down while it's on ads. So I'll get rocked for an ad.
A lot of reporting.
It is clearly a pivotal moment.
Gun control, the economy, education, both sides of the political aisle fight it
If for some reason the stream gets rocked, I'm just gonna record it just to have record of it.
On CBS News streaming.
Welcome to America Decides.
You were muted, bro.
When people say who's first to get in the morning, that would be me.
Might as well.
Morning news matters because it sets the tone for your day.
That first draft of history, it happens right here. We're going to uplift you. We're going to send you out your way. We take you places. We teach you new things. And we make you feel like, it's not all bad.
People say to me, you always seem to be having a good time.
Can you stream and record at the same time?
Probably. Your computer would probably explode.
Figured I'd try it.
I feel like I should update the title to be like totally not the presidential debate.
I saw a Dragon Ball Z movie on there the other night that said that. It was the Broly movie. And it was still there.
Good evening. We are just
A legendary side effect. It is about to start. It is 9 o'clock. Should start any second,
President
any
Biden
minute.
and former President Trump face off in the first debate of the general election. The two meeting for
Biden's
the first
waking
time
up.
since 2020. They will outline their contrasting visions for America. This is also a chance for you, the voters, to judge the candidates in one of the only
I just feel
face-to-face
bad if we end up getting
before
into
the
this
election.
like
Our
30
CBS
seconds
News
in
team will
and
be
they
back
just
after the
do
debate
our
for
stream.
analysis and fact-checking. Now to Atlanta for the first presidential debate hosted by CNN.
We'll see.
Highest office. Each will make his case to the American people with just over 4 months.
If that's the case, I honestly.
Good evening.
What are you shaking your head?
Anchor of CNN's
Oh, Jared said I'm
and co-anchor of State of the Union.
No, I'm not unmuting them.
CNN's the lead and co-anchor of State of the Union.
Hey, Legendary, I cannot thank you enough, dog.
To facilitate a debate.
That is
between
awesome.
the two candidates tonight.
Thank you for the sub, man.
Oh, that's cool. Don't sub to me. It's fine.
Former President Trump will be on the left side of the screen.
But yeah, go check out Surreal Lewis's channel as well.
We're seeing who gets rocked first.
Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question.
Yeah, man.
And 1 minute each
USA,
for
let's get it.
and rebuttals.
2
An
minutes.
additional minute for follow-up,
Wait, what?
clarification, or response
Oh,
is at the
I thought that was a countdown. I thought that was a countdown. My bad.
Candidate to speak, his microphone will be turned on, and his opponent's microphone will be turned off. Should a candidate interrupt when his microphone is muted, he will be difficult to understand for viewers at home. At the end of the debate, each candidate will get 2 minutes for closing statements. There is no studio audience tonight.
Oh, really, Legendary? He said I'm the only live stream he saw on my channel.
By accepting our invitation
Or
to
on
debate,
his
both
channel.
candidates and their campaigns agreed to accept
What?
these rules.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
please welcome
it's
the
weird.
46th President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Oh, here comes Biden.
Here we go.
No, he's struggling already. He's struggling already, dude.
And please welcome the 45th
Nope.
President of
Nope.
the
It's
United
over.
It's muted and he doesn't even know. He's already confused.
Oh, it's over. Oh my God, he's walking up there like he's about to punch.
Oh my goodness. Look at this man. He's like, look, this is how you
Dude.
step up.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for
Microphone,
being here. Let's begin
this
the
is
debate,
how
and
it
let's start
works.
with the issue that voters consistently say
This is crazy.
their top concern, the economy. President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120. And typical home prices have jumped more than 30%.
Wow.
What
Why
you
do I
say to
feel like
voters
I'm
who
watching
feel they
a
are worse off
show of
under
Jeopardy?
your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president and what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was.
Oh, he's struggling already, dude. He's struggling already.
People were dying. All he said was, "It's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right." The economy collapsed. There were no jobs.
Dude, it's over already.
It's
over already.
It was terrible. And so what we had to do was try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs.
I dropped a beer.
The position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs.
Dude, he is
To be done. There's more to be
already
done.
out of energy.
Most people are still in
Dude,
trouble.
what is happening?
I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come of household where the kitchen table, if the things weren't able to be met during the month, it was a problem. Price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we.
Dude, it's
reduce the
over.
price of
It's
housing.
over.
We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure.
Legendary knows it's a fact, bro. He's saying every word's a lie, bro. Everybody, dude, what is this guy
problem right now? In addition to that,
Dude,
a situation where
he hasn't stopped to breathe. Like,
look at all that was done in his administration. He didn't do
did they
much at
expect the adrenaline to run out after the first 5 minutes?
literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had.
Hey, look at Trump though. He's behaving. He's behaving. He's behaving right now.
This is a major issue for many people.
This is crazy.
$15 for a insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year.
Gaff.
In a situation is and we're going to make that available to everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price of around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you, President Trump.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country.
What?
We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with
What?
COVID. And when we did, we...
At least you can understand Trump. I couldn't understand Biden at all.
No, I couldn't.
Of which we had in 1929. by the time we finished. So we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and
dude, Trump's bringing out
so many other
facts,
things. Everything
dates.
was rocking good.
Where was
The
Biden?
thing we
I
never got
just
the credit for
couldn't
that we
understand.
should have is getting us out of that
Biden was like, it was like he was a wind-up doll.
Hold on. Shut up. Trump's talking.
You're talking through Trump shit, dude.
Shut up.
A country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce-back jobs. The bounce-back.
Biden's reading his note cards.
He has not done a good
He's
job.
asleep.
He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you, President Biden.
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks
yeah.
that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he had the greatest economy in the world. And, you know, the fact of the matter is that we found ourselves in a
He
situation
coughed and then
where
put his hand up.
his economy,
Is it-
he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax.
You know,
cut in American
Trump
history,
didn't look down
$2 trillion.
once.
He raised a deficit.
Why does he have a pen and paper and so much shit in front of
He's the only
him?
president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost
Trump's
more
just
jobs than he had when he began. Since
frowning the whole time.
The idea that he did something that was significant, and the military, you know, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
Didn't troops?
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
Don't have any.
Didn't troops die in the removal of Afghanistan?
You want to impose a 10%
Hold
tariff on all
on.
goods
We'll
coming
have a
into the
post
US.
conference after
How
this.
will you ensure
Just
that
be
that
quiet
doesn't
during
drive
the
prices
speech.
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others.
China.
To China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power. For
Of course we're going to vote. Of course we're going to vote, Legendary. No question about it.
Tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. Now, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing. And they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst, probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan.
Yes, sir, brother. Where are you from, Legendary?
With power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt, while so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So, former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after
Legendary,
COVID,
no
so
shit.
strong that
We live in Virginia too, bro.
much better than just
We're
about any other
fucking
country.
way south from
But we
D.C. though.
spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before. And we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet.
Biden's about to fall
The oil
asleep.
and gas right under our feet.
Dude, I don't know what he's doing over
nobody
there.
else has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the
Dude,
things
Culpepper's
we came up
actually
with.
not too far away
We
from
gave
us.
him something
Dead ass.
great. Remember, more people
That's
died
crazy,
under
yo.
his administration, even though we had largely fixed it.
We're near,
More
like,
people died
Hanover.
under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it. Something which
Don't
a lot
dox
of people
us.
don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job.
Oh my
just
God,
a very
Biden's-
poor job.
What is he looking at? There's no crowd. What is he smiling at?
We're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent. All of the things he's done, we've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country, and I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity
That
to
was
respond to
good.
this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, he got $2 trillion tax cut that benefited the very wealthy. When I'm going to fix the tax system, for example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America.
Gaff.
What is wrong with this
We're in a
man?
situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure
A
that
10-year plan.
strengthen our
Sounds
healthcare system,
fantastic.
making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people.
Did you see him stop?
They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them
No,
on.
no, I just got back. I
You
went to get
missed
a beer.
it, dude. He stopped.
Did I
He
miss it?
stopped.
Single-handedly
All right.
destroy Social Security.
He
These
shut
millions
down.
and millions of people coming in. They're trying to put them on Social Security.
Did he
will
really?
wipe out
Look at the stream.
Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence, and it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people. They cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid.
He froze
people.
up.
Dude,
What we're
I
doing for
can't
other
He
believe it.
froze
I
up.
can't
and they do
believe it.
nothing for us. What this man has done
He just looked down.
is absolutely
Go Trump.
criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
This is the first
He
presidential
froze
election
up.
since the
He just
Supreme
said
Court
President
overturned Roe v.
Trump,
Wade.
a CNN
This morning,
anchor. Or
He's been
moderator.
saying it.
Yet
He's been
another
saying it.
abortion
Did he?
case,
Okay.
temporarily
That's the first time I heard it.
emergency
I was like,
abortions
wow.
to continue in
That,
Idaho.
Dude.
all right. I'm going to shut up. Will, we need to shut up until the end.
Former
Look.
President Trump,
You gotta talk.
you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. Everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, and getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But You have to get elected also, and because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to...
He's drooling.
We're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including
this is fucking crazy.
Murdered. And he went to...
How long have we been watching?
The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that.
It's been 10 minutes.
There's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
There have been many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. Consider the most dangerous place.
They just cut Biden off hard right there.
She didn't even say thank you, Mr. President.
And they are raping and killing women. And
Mackie, isn't this weird as crap? This is
crazy.
crazy.
The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which, frankly, they didn't. But they would have. Everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it.
I mean, every question Trump is nailing. Like there's
many presidents had tried to get.
I don't even know why this is even a debate.
The vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states. I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I support Roe v. Wade.
Look at his face right now.
The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th
I'm gonna be honest.
And even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth.
CNN ain't acting too unfair right now.
The baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's
I agree.
He's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans...
I feel that legendary, bro. We're drinking right there with you, dog.
Universal ban on abortion, period.
Did you tell him the rules?
6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security. President Biden,
they cut Trump off.
A number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety.
Did you see that? The girl in the white was telling him to shut
why
up.
should voters trust you
But he didn't.
to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement.
I take
that
back my
not only
CNN
changed
remark.
all that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police going up. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages,
mothers.
making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it.
Holy shit.
Leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country
Holy
to
shit.
people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum.
Dude, it's over. Look at him. Look at him.
All right, shut up. Trump's talking.
All over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. Brandon, just speak to him. But look, we had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including the people that are coming up in caravans.
President Trump. President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, and his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in and his administration, killed three American soldiers.
Now, what?
I'm not saying that no terrorists ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people, that's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
Trump's already president.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed three people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and
See,
Soleimani,
that one
the two
dude
greatest
just said,
terrorists,
what is
biggest
he
terrorists
talking
anywhere in the world.
No idea.
That had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including
everybody's saying, what did he
thousands
say?
of people dying, and also killing
Holy
our citizens
shit,
when they
dude.
come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union because we don't have borders anymore. Every state
Where's
is
Biden
now a
looking?
border. And because of his ridiculous,
He's just like,
insane,
no
and very
crowd.
stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden.
Biden has no idea where
They're
he is.
killing our citizens at a level
He's
that
scared.
we've never seen
Look at
before.
him.
And you're reading it like these three incredible
Look at
young
him.
girls over the last few days. One of them I just spoke to.
He hasn't
mother,
blinked in a while.
And they just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible.
Bro,
what's
he's not
taken
blinking.
place. What's taken
He
place in
has
our
not
country,
blinked.
We're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't
Blink.
know. He opened the borders.
Oh, my
Nobody's
goodness.
ever
Thank
seen
God.
anything
Blink.
like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all, and he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved. Choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did. And I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people at our border by allowing all of these people to come in. And it's a very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie. Every single one. For example, veterans are a hell of a lot
Dude,
better
that was
off since
good.
they passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, and their families have it. Their families have it because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And his group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in
glioblastoma?
D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the
Standing
loser.
there like, what the fuck?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We have 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up, and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
4-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea.
What?
The idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
Let's move to the topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year.
I don't know what he said.
Former President Trump.
I've understood 5% of what Biden has said this whole night.
Maybe even
Russia
less.
keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed, and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's based on every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible,
yes, sir, it's real.
Most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
I mean, dementia moment.
Oh, God. You're having a dementia moment.
Dude, there's been too many fuck-ups. I've been through too many beers
so he's
already.
got no love lost. But he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
President Biden?
I've never heard so much malarkey in my whole life.
Malarkey?
I honestly, CNN's doing great. They're giving
No,
Trump so
they're
much
doing
more time.
okay.
They're doing okay. They're giving Trump so much more time than
He did
Biden.
nothing about it. Recently, not when he was
They're cutting him
president,
off because they know he's
he
going
was
to
attacked.
shut down.
Yeah, they don't want him to
That's all
ramp.
it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of
Look at your note
Afghanistan
cord.
during that airlift. Number three, we found ourselves
He
in a
always does that.
situation where-
Number one, number two, number
Take
three.
a look at what Trump did in Ukraine. This guy told Trump, do whatever you want. Do
Told
whatever
Trump?
you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to
Dude,
reestablish.
you know what it is?
Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He
Am I allowed to
didn't
talk
do
over Biden?
anything.
To the end. Save it
And
to the end.
they've lost thousands and thousands of troops. 500,000
We have a lot to talk
President Trump,
I
as I
never
come back
said
to you
that.
for 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the
No, they're
territory
not
in Ukraine?
acceptable. No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion
100%
now or
agree.
more to Ukraine. He's given
What?
$200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly.
Uh-oh.
I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
President Biden, you have a minute.
What
The
happened?
fact is,
Biden just-
Putin is a war criminal.
He's just doing this.
He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think
They
happens to
trying to
the
make
countries?
Trump
And
out
so if
as
you want a war,
Putin?
you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does
What
what
is
he
happening?
says and walks away. And by the way, all that money we give Ukraine are from weapons we make here in the United States. We give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced
Not the
as
money?
much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East.
He lost. He's
In
lost the
October,
election.
Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people
All right, real
and
quick.
taking hundreds of
Why are they worried more
hostages.
about?
Among those held
Yes,
and
sir,
thought to
legendary.
still be
Why are they
alive
worried more
5
about Trump
Americans.
solving the problem than
Israel's
Biden
response has killed
starting
thousands
the
of
problem?
Palestinians and created a humanitarian
Exactly.
crisis in
Exactly.
Gaza.
What
That's
the?
how this feels.
You've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one, everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through to the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward. Which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is the end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas, number one. They're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened? In Israel, we're finding that the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it just stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world. And so there are two different things. Hamas cannot be allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent $100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any. They were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting all. You got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is the guy who wants to get out of NATO. Are you going to stay in NATO? Are you going to pull out of NATO?
I've never heard so much voices.
Our strength lies in our alliance.
There's some shit going on in
maybe
his
a big
head.
ocean, but we're ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO? We have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places.
I mean, Trump, legendary, said it perfect. Trump absolutely
50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand that this kind of dislocation has a serious threat to the whole world peace. No major war in Europe has ever been able to be contained just to Europe.
President Trump, just to follow up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace?
Why did they ask him the question?
We have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically. Their economy is about the same size as the United States. And they were no cars, they don't want anything that we have, but we're supposed to take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason that he can play games with NATO is because I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about this, I said, no, I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question, would you guard us against Russia at a very secret meeting of the 28 states at that time, nations at that time? And I said, no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next months. But now we're in the same position. We're paying everybody's bills.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters that day,
well, here's where CNN goes.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, here we go.
Votes. As president, you swore an oath to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down, the mayor of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see. I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it, too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her. And she now admits that she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
President Biden?
Look, he encouraged those folks to go up on Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in that room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours. 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll now forgive them for what they've done. They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that no. But he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court, and they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He didn't do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out, and now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
What they've done to some people that
what
are so
in
innocent,
the fuck did he
you ought to
just
be ashamed
say?
of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities, you go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that. They saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing. The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now. And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up on Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody, just went in and broke down doors, broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks, turned them over statues. The idea that those people are patriots? Come on. When I asked him the first two debates we had, first time around, I said, will you denounce the Proud Boys? He said,
I cannot agree more, Legendary. There's also footage of cops going in and changing them and coming out as MAGA people and fucking people up.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you a
whole
minute,
thing
President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. my retribution is going to be a success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times.
Hey, Mitchell Hunter,
but his
is that a finished drink?
The statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all.
Biden froze up earlier, so that's a drink.
Things. All of the death cars at the border. Telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with his son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir. You want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before. Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex
molesting a woman
on the night while your wife was pregnant? What? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
The morals of an alley cat.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's
I need that soundbite.
Start that case. Wow. That case is going to be appealed and won.
I didn't have sex with a porn star.
A terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand them better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy. Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to vote for President Trump will be voting against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes. The more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming around. He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the juries will do, but I do know he has a real problem. And so the fact that could you ever think you hear any president say that I'm going to seek retribution? Do you ever hear any president say that I thought Hitler had some good ideas? What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq, I said I wasn't going to run again until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches.
Charlotte.
And singing the same anti-Semitic song they sang when back in Germany, and the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked him.
Was that him comparing Trump to Hitler?
What do you think of those people? The people who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones he said, I think they're fine people on both sides. What American president would ever say? Nazis coming out of fields, carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas, were fine people. This is a guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I'd like to know what they are. The good things Hitler's done, that's what he said. This guy has no sense of American democracy.
President Trump. We carrying around swastikas?
That story has been totally wiped out.
That what MAGA
when
people
you see the
are?
Sentence, it said 100% exoneration on this. So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency is, without question, the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate.
Goodness.
He made
Trump
up the
is
Charlottesville
roasting.
story, and you'll see it's debunked all over the place. Every anchor has, every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And
Let it
just
fly
the
off
other day
the
it
hook.
came out where it was fully debunked. It's a nonsense story. He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
President Biden?
And debunked. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected. If he thought they were good people coming out of that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches, then he didn't deserve to be president.
That office, that forced, he just confirmed the deep
All
swamp.
this being fabricated. We saw with our own eyes. We saw what happened on January 6th. We saw the people breaking through the windows. We saw people occupying his own vice president. Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time. His vice president hasn't endorsed him this time. So why? Why? They know him well. They serve with him. Why are they not endorsing him?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from the CNN.
Oh, Trump doesn't get to dispute those?
Dude.
That's rough.
Oh my goodness. There is so much to talk about. Dude, this is crazy. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Dude.
I swear to God, I feel like I am watching Jeopardy.
Shoot, we only got 40 more minutes.
Wait a minute.
Dude,
Tom, is that you working the
this
camera?
is insane.
Trump is pounding this dude in the ass.
Just got better. CBS Mornings.
Well, I'm turning it down right now while it's...
Zach, I'm on muting Zach.
I had progressively
I
fallen
gotta turn...
deeper into.
And
you muted yourself. Oh, there you are.
Where?
Oh, is Jarrett gone?
Yeah, Jared left like an hour ago.
Oh, I'm gonna leave you unmuted, Zach, for the whole thing.
Did you like the picture I sent?
Picture.
All right, Zach. So
look in the side
we're
chat.
gonna bring you in here. You've been watching, right?
Yeah. I've been.
You've been listening to it.
So give us your opinion so far.
Oh, it's pretty rough. It's
rough for who?
Honestly.
Dude, get into the details. Come on, man.
Oh, it's just I don't know. Biden just doesn't really. I feel a lot of the faces he makes and him freezing up. I feel like he doesn't actually really know what he's talking about. I can't really connect a lot of the points that he's making to actual
Dude.
things that I
don't
have.
even understand what he's saying.
Trump straight up said, I don't know what that guy's saying. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
It's been really hard because it's like, can we stay on the one track? Can we answer the question? He has to. He goes like
I'm
four
gonna
different
go
points.
like with what Benny Johnson said. We got like robot number 4 out of 7 for the Bidens tonight.
I feel like
You should look at that screenshot I sent though. It's pretty funny.
I feel like there's no way that a single person watching this is.
What's the thing? No one who actually votes for Biden watches these, and I'm pretty confident when I say that.
Like, this is crazy. Like, every answer, I mean, Trump, I mean, until the end, when he started getting a little defensive there, I mean, I love it. Like, Biden, get the fuck out of here. But he was given great answers.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I don't think I could answer any of these questions. It's like he snaps onto it. He's got an answer immediately. He's doing a good job.
Oh my God, the Biden and Harris Twitter says Trump claims his economy is the best economy in the history of our country. Fact check, this is a lie. Trump left office with the worst jobs record since the Great Depression.
Dude, they keep saying that, but it's COVID. They didn't count the jobs from home.
It was Democrat.
So obviously, jobs went down. It's fucking stupid. And then Biden's like, "Oh, jobs rose. No shit. Everybody had to go back to the office."
Biden has record job growth in the public sector right now because they've hired like a record number of IRS agents and government employees. And
government employees don't do shit.
Trump had bad job numbers at COVID because Democratic governors shut down their cities and said that people weren't essential workers when they were running their own restaurants and stores and
See, I'm the worst
salons.
person to talk to about that because I'm blue collar as fuck.
Yeah, I had to go to work.
Like, I go to a trade job every single day, 6 a.m.
And
Let's
you'd
get
certainly
it.
face again in a second term.
I don't get to
President
sleep
Biden,
until fucking
while
8.
black unemployment dropped to a record low under your presidency, families still earned
We're back.
far less than white
I was just
families.
hoping to hear him say,
Black
"Come on,
mothers
man,
are
a
still
few more
3
times."
times more likely
He said malarkey.
to die from pregnancy-related causes.
He did.
And black Americans are imprisoned at
I
5
did get one.
times
Come
the
on,
rate
man.
of white Americans. What do you
Good.
say to black voters who are disappointed that you haven't made more progress?
They acknowledge they made a lot of
I was listening to y'all talk about it. I was like, I should just pull it up.
small black businesses.
It's actually been kind of entertaining.
Number 2.
All right, Zach, shush.
Black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time.
Everybody
Number
shush.
3, we find
See how bad he
housing
fucks
for
this
black
up.
Americans, and dealing with the segregation that exists among these corporations that collude to keep people out of their
Legendary says his eyes are lit up again. He definitely took some fucking lines during the break.
the choice that black families have to make relative to child care is incredibly difficult. When we did the first major piece of legislation in the past, I was able to reduce black child care costs. I cut them in half. We got to make
That's
sure
just telling people to get married and have a child.
When you provide those child care protections, you increase economic growth because more people can be in the job market. So there's more to be done, considerably more to be done. But we've done a great deal so far, and I'm not letting up, and they know it.
You have 49 seconds left. What do you say to black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
Damn, she's struggling
I
too.
don't blame them for being disappointed. Inflation is still
Honestly, the girl moderator is not bad because she tried to hush up the dude for Trump when he was trying to say something.
First-time home buyers should get a $10,000 tax credit to be able to buy their first home so they can get started. I made sure that we're in a situation where all those black families and those black individuals who had to take out student loans that were ballooning, that if they were engaged in nursing, doctor, and
there you go.
anything having to do with volunteerism, if they paid their bills for 10 years on their student debt, all the rest is forgiven after 10 years. Millions have benefited from that, and we're going to do a whole lot more for black families.
Thank you, President Trump.
And he caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation, and he's right, it's been very bad. He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody. It's killing people.
I love how sharp Trump is. Like, they don't even get to 3 by the time he can fucking start talking. He's already answering the question.
They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New scam and all this money that's being thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there, the fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that
Oh, damn right he is
legendary. They're
legendary.
taking black jobs now.
Very
And it could
intelligent.
Be 18, it could be
100%
19,
agreed.
and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs and they're taking Hispanic jobs.
Dude's a
You haven't seen it
businessman,
yet,
not a
but You're going to
politician.
see something
That's
that's
what we
going to be
need.
the worst in our history.
Thank you. President Biden?
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on
Yeah,
its
yeah,
back.
I saw those.
15% unemployment. He decimated the economy, absolutely decimated the economy. That's why there was no inflation at the time. There were no jobs. We provided thousands of millions of jobs for individuals who are in all communities, including minority communities. We made sure that they have health insurance. We have covered, the ACA has increased. I made sure that they're $8,000 per person in a family to get written off for health care. But this guy wants to eliminate that. They've tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again, and they're going to try again if they win. You find ourselves in a position where the idea that we're not doing any, we put more police on the street than any administration has. We cut the cops.
Everything is always so backwards.
Equity and making sure people have a shot to make it. There's a lot going on, but in inflation, he caused it by his tremendous malfeasance in the way he handled the pandemic.
Thank you. Another persistent challenge is the climate crisis. 2023 was the hottest year in recorded history, and communities across the country are confronting the devastating effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and rising sea levels. Former President Trump, you've vowed to end your opponent's climate initiatives, but will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
Well, let me just go back to what he said about the police, how close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group. And what he's done to the black population.
Look at Biden looking like he's
the fact that for 10
surprised.
years he called them super predators. We can't, in the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super predators was his name, and he called it to them for 10, and they've taken great offense at it, and now they see it happening. But when they see what I did for criminal justice reform and for the historically black colleges and universities, where I funded them and got them all funded, and the opportunity zones with Tim, as you know, Tim Scott was incredible. He did a great job, great senator from South Carolina. He came to me with the idea, and it was a great idea. It's one of the most successful economic development acts ever in the country, opportunity zones. And the biggest beneficiary are blacks. And that's why we have the best numbers with them in maybe ever. They're saying ever. I read this morning where ever, the best numbers. He's lost much of the black population because he's done a horrible job for black people. He's also done a horrible job for Hispanics. But wait till you see these millions of people pouring into our country, and they're going to take the jobs, and it's already started, and you haven't seen anything yet. It's a disaster.
You've 38 seconds left. President Trump, will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever, and we were using all forms of energy, all forms, everything. And yet, during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever. And my top environmental people gave me that statistic just before I walked on the stage, actually.
I don't know where the hell he's been. The idea that anything he said is true. I've passed the most extensive climate change legislation in history. We find ourselves, and by the way, black colleges. I came up with $15 billion for HBCUs, historic black universities and colleges, because they don't have the kind of contributors that they have to build these laboratories and the like. Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just don't have the money, but now they'll be able to get those jobs in high tech. We're in a situation where the idea that
Did you say black people don't have money?
Claiming to have done something that had the cleanest water. He hadn't done a damn thing with the environment. He pulled out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord. I immediately joined it because if we
Honestly, I can't fucking tell you because I can't understand.
There's no way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He must undo all that I've done.
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and China nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States. And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones. It was costing us money. Nobody else was paying into it. And it was a disaster. But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard him say before insulin. I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
The idea
100% agree, legendary.
In fact,
Biden is a
we
fucking
were
lunatic.
the only ones of consequence who were we're not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything we've not able to, the United States can't get its under control?
What?
One of the largest polluters in the world, number one. We're making significant progress.
Is he picking his nose?
We will have cut pollution in half. We have made significant
I
progress.
think he just sniffed the pen, maybe?
Oh, quick release cocaine.
Boost? I don't know.
Peace Corps. And we're moving in directions that are going to significantly change the elements of the cause of pollution. But the idea that he claims that he has the biggest heart up here and he's really concerned about pollution and about climate, I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way, with regard to prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for, one, voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company, cannot have to pay.
Thank you.
And by the way,
So every day, millions of Americans struggle just to make ends meet. For many older Americans, Social Security provides a critical lifeline. President Biden, if nothing is done to Social Security,
And by the way, what?
will see their benefits cut.
And by the way,
for just
what?
over 10 years. Will you name tonight one specific step that you're willing to take to keep Social Security solvent?
yes, make the very wealthy begin to pay their fair share. Right now, everybody making under $170,000 pays 6% of their income, of their paycheck, every single time they get a paycheck from the time the first one they get when they're 18 years old. The idea that they're going to, I'm proposing that everybody, they pay, the millionaires pay 1%. So no one.
I swear to God, if he says one more
Social
time.
Security for anybody under $400,000. After that, I began to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share by increasing from 1% beyond to be able to guarantee the program for life.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough will keep it solvent. But the biggest thing I'll do if we defeat this man, because he wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare, both times. And that's what, and if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican caucus that he, I believe, supports, is in fact want to cut it as well. The idea that we don't need to protect our seniors is ridiculous. And by the way, the American public has greater health care coverage today than ever before. And on the ACA, as I said, you're in a circumstance where 400,000 people, 40 million people would not have insurance because they have a pre-existing condition. Only thing that allows them to have that insurance is the fact that they, in fact, are part of the ACA. And by the way, the other thing is, we're in a situation where we talk about education for black communities. I've raised the amount of money for Pell Grants by another $8,000. So anybody making under $70,000 a year is going to be able to get $15,000 toward their tuition. He just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
These next 4 years are going to be banging.
All my life, I've been
I
on
can't
this side
wait.
of the
I
equation
cannot
for
wait.
the last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like this guy. He lies. I've never seen it. He can look you in the face. About so many other things, too. And we mentioned the laptop. We mentioned Russia, Ukraine. Everything.
Bring up the
he does is a
laptop,
lie.
please.
It's misinformation and disinformation. The losers and suckers story that he made up is a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country, and they're putting them onto Social Security. They're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting them in our hospitals. They're taking the place of our citizens. What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
President Biden?
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of, I told you before. And by the way, when I said suckers and losers, he acknowledged after that he fired that general. That general got fired because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said it, number one. Number two, the idea...
Go back to the number.
Didn't he fire him for lying about it?
Millions and millions, everybody talks about it, illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world, the reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way, those 15 Nobel laureates he talked about being phony, those 15 Nobel laureates, economists, they all said that if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession and inflation is going to increasingly go up. And by the way, worst president in history, 159 presidential scholars voted him the worst president in the history of the United States of America.
President Biden, thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child care, which many American families struggle to afford. President Trump,
Aren't we
both
literally
you
in a
and
recession?
President Biden have tried to address this issue. The average cost of child care in this country
Instead of Biden, if Trump was reelected, we'd be in a recession and inflation would go
The
up.
cost of child care for two children is more
Didn't they
than their
redefine
rent.
a recession
In your second term,
so that we
what
weren't
would you
technically
do
in
to
one?
make child care more affordable?
But we're technically in a recession right now.
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him. The other thing is, he doesn't fire people. He never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good. Not easy to fire people. You'd pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put them there. I didn't put Comey there. He was no good. I fired him. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. He didn't fire. Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody that's on the border that's allowed us to have the worst border in the history of the world? Did anybody get fired for allowing 18 million people, many from prisons, many from mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed? Joe, our country is being destroyed.
Mackie,
As
President
you and I sit up
Bob
here and
away.
waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced it a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants open borders.
This much.
He wants our country to either be destroyed or he wants to pick up those people as voters. And I don't think we just can't let it happen. If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance, of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He is the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We're the most admired country in the world. We're the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We have the finest military in the history of the world, the finest in the history of the world. No one thinks we're weak. No one wants to screw around with us. Nobody.
Here we go back with the numbering.
The idea that we're talking about worst presidents, I wasn't joking. Look it up or go online. 159 or 58, don't hold me the exact number, presidential historians, they've had meetings and they voted who's the worst president in American history, one through best to worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. He can argue they're wrong, but that's what they voted. The idea that he is doing anything to deal with child care, he did virtually nothing to child care. We should significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of women and men or single parents to be able to go back to work. And we should encourage businesses to have.
Thank you, President
child care
Biden.
facilities.
President Trump, the question was
cut
about
Biden
what
off
would you do to make
again.
child care more affordable, if you want to take your minute.
Just so you understand, we have polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you, and they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm given another 4 years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the two of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I'd grow up and I'd see politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes,
let me check
as
my
I
note
said,
card.
we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country.
Or he's taking a quick nap.
The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong about. He's increased the tariff. He will increase the taxes on middle class people. I said I'd never raise the tax on anybody making less than $400,000. I didn't. But this tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming in the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more because they're going to have to pay the difference in food and all the things that were imported. Number two,
back to
numbering, where he talks about how he has not raised, he's somehow helped the middle class. The middle class have been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. You had the largest deficit of any president in American history, number one. Number two, you have not, in fact, made any contact, any progress.
Border Patrol Union
we are
tweeted,
the lowest trade deficit with China since 2000.
to be clear,
Thank you, President Biden.
we never and have never will endorse Trump. I mean,
millions of Americans.
Biden.
Both of you have made a top priority in
The Border Patrol, Biden said they endorsed them. And they just tweeted, saying we never and will never endorse Biden.
Breaking news! It has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year, primarily from fentanyl and other opioids. What will you
Legendary, you are right, bro. There are too many lies. And you know what's funny? Hillary can't. I'll save that to the end.
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy. We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something. But do you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come, but he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
So, President Trump, you have 67 seconds left. The question was, what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Jake, we were doing very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. And then we had to get tough. And it was the drugs pouring across the border were
Brandon, do you have a stream up?
We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog. It's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it.
Look what I got.
A lot. And we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers now? It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low because the gotaways, they don't even talk about gotaways. But the numbers of the amount of drugs and human trafficking in women coming across our border, the worst thing I've ever seen, at numbers that nobody's ever seen under him because the border's so bad. But the number of drugs coming across our border now is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden?
Fentanyl and the byproducts of fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we use the machinery that can detect fentanyl, these big machines that roll over everything that comes across the border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together, this bipartisan deal. More fentanyl machines, more be able to detect drugs, more numbers of agents, more numbers of all the people at the border. And when we had that deal done, he called his Republican colleagues, said, don't do it. It's going to hurt me politically. No, he never argued it's not a good bill. It's a really good bill. We need those machines. We need those machines. And we're coming down very hard in every country in Asia in terms of precursors for fentanyl. And Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have to do. We need those machines.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, and again, the question is about Americans in the throes of addiction right now struggling to get the treatment they need.
Well, because this does pertain to it. He ended Remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release. I made it catch and release in Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion for a hostage. Every time we say it's a hostage. Now we have a hostage, a Wall Street Journal reporter, I think a good guy, and he's over there because Putin is laughing at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said by literally as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago, but Putin's probably asking for billions and billions of dollars because this guy pays it every time. We had 2 cases where we paid $6 billion for 5 people. I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 50 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America, over billions of dollars in private investment in enterprises that we are growing. By the way, we brought an awful lot of people. Well, the whole idea of computer chips. We used to have 40% of the market. We invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States. And guess what? Those fabs, they call them, to build these chips, those fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them. And there's billions, about $40 billion already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant jobs for Americans from all over the world.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country. I never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a single major country president who wouldn't trade places with the United States of America for all our problems and all our opportunities. We're the most progressive country in the world in getting things done. We're the strongest country in the world. We're a country in the world who keeps our word, and everybody trusts us. All of our allies and those who he cuddles up to, from Kim Jong-un, he sends love letters to, and Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you. Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one.
Just one.
I go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, we knock on wood.
Wow.
We may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way, and I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace them.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's what anyway, just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving car.
Take a look at what he says he is. Take a look at what he is.
Which, when I was vice president, down to 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest.
Are we talking about golf right now?
Handicap of all.
Dude, did Biden just say Trump can carry his bag? What the fuck?
you swing.
Okay,
Let's not act like children.
President
Joe.
Trump, we're going to
Let's not act like children.
What just happened? Voters have about you. Will you pledge tonight?
Dude, Biden is out of it.
All legal challenges
What are we talking about right now?
That you
We're talking about golf.
the results of this election, regardless of who wins.
Because Trump was like, Biden challenged me to a golf, like a golf match.
Crazy, dude.
And then Biden said,
Trump's talking shit.
It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say it's one of the strongest statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to. And I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol and in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president.
Dude, legendary. I don't even know.
At one of my many places, enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. But the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let people say do what you want in NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on all, and required response. The idea, I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with the job I've done and what they've done. Because we are a powerful nation. We have wonderful people. It's because of the people, not me. It's because of the American people. They're capable of anything, and they step up when they're needed. And right now, we're needed. We're needed to protect the world because our own safety is at stake. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election?
I don't know if I can watch this anymore.
Just to finish.
Biden is such a fucking idiot. I mean, I
They took a
can't.
lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. He's not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me. But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started ever with me. And he's going to take Ukraine. And, you know, you asked me a question before, would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions. Russia would have never attacked if I were
President Trump,
president.
the question was,
Dude,
will
that
you
was
accept
perfect.
the results of the election?
That right there,
regardless
that was
of
a
who
good
wins?
answer.
Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Well, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local. None.
This is starting to get scary.
This lie.
It's been scary.
All this misrepresentation.
Like really scary.
There's no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such
I feel like people are going to start turning on each other.
You accepting anything? You can't stand the loss. Something snapped.
That's been happening too.
We'll be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate, live from Georgia.
Dude, I can tell from the CNN reporters that they know Biden is getting absolutely whooped. Like, this is crazy. I cannot.
Not everybody's on that same page. I'm playing a game right now, and there's people in the game saying that Trump isn't talking about anything useful.
When you wake up in the morning,
that people
go-to team.
People aren't really taking anything into. It's scary how
they're saying Biden's saying useful shit. Dude,
it's wild. It's scary.
Where are you looking at this?
What are
I'm
people?
I'm in RuneScape right now.
Exist.
I'm playing RuneScape right now, and these guys are talking about how bad they're both doing.
I swear to God.
RuneScape nerds are saying that Trump's doing bad?
No, it's like 1/3 of the people on right now are talking shit about Trump.
You should hit him with
I think
a
he's
Trump
nailed
2024.
every question, and then added some.
I'm not saying anything
He takes all
negative
the
about Trump
time.
personally.
Dude,
I'm just
I
saying,
can't-
like,
I don't
it's scary the
understand.
fact that people are watching it and not, understanding.
Dude, what?
It's scary. When you said it was scary, I was like, oh man, it definitely is.
Like,
Are you dreaming of improving?
I mean, unless these guys are just messing
Did you
around.
even understand Biden? I've literally understood 6% of everything that he has said tonight. I
What
don't
was the
know
tangent
what
on
he is
golf
saying.
about? Why did
So,
we go on a 5-minute
he's-
tangent on golf?
Well, Trump had brought up just about. They were asking him
like-
about his health. He said he's good. He can hit
Did I
balls.
miss that, or did Biden tell Trump
gonna let
that
me
he
talk,
can carry
motherfucker?
his bag?
I'm trying to explain it.
That's disrespectful.
He
as
said
fuck.
Trump said he could hit balls far. He won 2 championships in golf recently, stuff like that, and that Biden.
that, but-
He said Biden offered to play a match with Trump, and
See,
Trump said,
Legendary's
"Let me
on point.
finish,
He's
Brandon.
saying the people are not understanding, need more knowledge on these things.
Let me finish, Brandon."
I agree. They're so fucking fed by the god.
All right, server muted. So he said that Biden said to Trump that he would play a game, but Trump has to carry his own bag, like not have a ball
Dude,
boy
when I heard
or a
carry
club
his
boy or
own
whatever.
bag, I almost punched him through the fucking screen.
He's
That
saying
is disrespectful.
he's
as
saying you
fuck.
don't get your own. What are they called? Caddies.
Caddy.
You don't get a caddy that Trump had to carry in his own bag. I was like, what does that have to do with playing golf? Like Biden gonna carry his own bag?
That's what I'm talking about. That whole
I
little
can't
rant
pick
that
up a
Biden went on was
fucking
just like
driver, dude.
we just went. I don't know. It's just the fact that it's going the way it is, and that this.
All right, I need another beer.
If any human being watches this all the way through and still thinks that Biden is,
I'm telling you, dude.
Biden hasn't been able
out
to-
there, and it's scary.
Biden hasn't been able to say anything that helps his case of like. He hasn't said anything that makes his presidency seem good. Because everything they've said, he's failed to explain. Like, he can't sit there and say that inflation's not all he's been doing is attacking Trump.
I think it's crazy that people keep talking about how they both avoid. It's like they don't really give them both an opportunity to kind of retort each other. So they kind of have to take the few seconds they can at the beginning before answering a question to get into something. I feel like it's just not. It's not really set up for anybody to actually speak I don't know.
He's back.
Talking to who?
We find ourselves in a situation.
Biden's
where,
talking right now.
one, we have to make sure that
He said
we have a
number
fair
one.
system. I ask anyone out, why do you think
I
the
got
tax
an
system
ad.
is fair? The fact is that had a single penny in
What is my thing doing? There we go.
taxes and will not. And if I'm reelected, that will be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit. Number one, he's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic, and he finds himself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America. What I did. Well, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000 for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need. You know what that did? That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion over 10 years because the government doesn't have to pay the exorbitant prices. I'm going to make that available to every senior all along, it's happening now, and everybody in America. He wants to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure that we have child care. We're going to significantly increase the credits people have for child care. I'm going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
What?
And so the first presidential debate of the 2024 election season is in the books, as you witnessed President
It's over? They didn't say, like, goodbye and play a little, like, music on the way out or something?
From advisors close to him that apparently
just
he's had a cold for the past several days. But he also had
let's listen to the analysis and then we'll give our analysis.
Of facts and accomplishments that he wanted
Wait,
to
who'd she say had a cold?
His voice and sometimes was distracting from that. President Trump
Fine, he had a sore throat.
Are you fucking
and exaggerations,
dude? There's
but then
no
President
way.
Biden failed to
What?
fact check Trump most
He had
of
a
the time. We've got our entire panel here tonight to discuss what we witnessed. John Dickerson, I'll start with you.
Dude's
For
about
the
to
majority of
die.
Americans who don't want this choice, the debate met those expectations. I think you characterized it correctly. What we heard about President Biden is people who know him said, when he was underestimated in the 2020 campaign, people said, look to his convention speech, and he exceeded expectations. They said, look to his State of the Union addresses when he exceeded expectations. On the debate stage, he came in well under expectations, both as a matter of performance and as arguing for why his vision for the future is better. As you mentioned, Donald Trump gave fantastical, delusional answers on January 6th, on Charlottesville, on what he said about the theft of the last election. And that matters because he's trying to convince people who saw things with their own eyes that what they saw was not so. And part of being president is seeing things clearly.
So these people are
How
retarded.
the voters will make something of
Delusional?
this, I'm not sure.
Dude.
But for President Biden, who had the behavioral challenge.
Are they still
tonight,
talking?
That's the theatrical challenge.
No, they cut the stream. What?
What?
They cut.
All right, I'm not gonna end it, but
CBS
I'm
cut the
gonna put
stream.
on-
Like CBS cut their own stream.
Or let me put on.
Oh, they switched over to another stream. I'm not putting anything on. I'm not listening to those people.
All I gotta say.
Maybe
That
it's
was
None of that.
crazy, dude.
I don't think Donald Trump had a great night. Donald Trump broke the fact-check machine more than I
I
can
don't
count.
even
That will
know
be on the record as we go
how to
forward.
explain what I just watched
Dude,
for the last 2 hours.
there's nothing to explain. It's over.
I mean,
The dude is
To me?
one rough sneeze away from just death.
to me, Trump won 150%. Like, there is no way Biden even gained any supporters from that. There's no way.
The problem is people that were already supporting Biden are so goddamn brain dead that they're just gonna keep supporting Biden. They're gonna be like, "Oh, Biden," like that lady just said he had a cold. What the?
But see, the worst part is,
Like, what the fuck does that have to do with your cognitive ability?
The worst part is that those people, they didn't even watch. I guarantee you they didn't even watch that. Like, they have no idea what Biden just did.
It was either the first or second question when you walked away. He looked down and just gave up and just stopped talking. And CNN had to like say, "Okay, President Trump." I'm gonna go back and find that for you, Brennan.
Like, that was dude, I can't. That was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I'm gonna pull it up on
I
your
will
stream.
100%. He's already
We have the largest deficit.
Zach, what are
with
your
China.
thoughts?
He gets
What are your
paid by
thoughts?
China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money out of the people.
It's just,
Topic. 7 states
I don't know, it's just kind of
have
crazy.
no legal
I
restrictions on how far into a pregnancy
don't know.
a
To
woman
me, it
can
was
obtain
kind of
an abortion.
a little more clear that Trump was able to answer the questions a lot more clearly. And
Dude, like,
I
I
know.
mean, I'm telling you, that bitch stopped talking. He was on the question. It was,
no,
it
it was-
was no,
he was
no
snapping onto it.
bullshit. And dude, I think he answered every single question and then used all his time. Where Biden left, oh, well, President, there's 84 seconds left on the clock. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's over. I don't know. I'm going to bed.
Yo, so if they say it's over, that means Biden's not staying for the after shit. 'Cause they told him to stay.
I don't give a shit what after shit there is because I'm
Dude,
my brain
I'm
already
telling
hurts.
you, that was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Hell yeah.
It was definitely interesting.
Yup.
Oh my goodness.